What is up? What is popping? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the O.O.C. Big Ford Entertainment is in the house, and so is Roberto. What's up, Roberto? You're actually muted.
It's my turn to get the rust off.
Co-host can't even cowboy. Come in correct.
Easy, cowboy. I could say all the hiccups from my lead co-host. But, you know, we're a team. We win as a team. We lose as a team. That's how we roll, yo.
Yeah, I don't make those mistakes, guys. Let's just be real.
Yeah. You guys know the show starts. We're on mute. The show starts. There's fire. We're talking. We didn't come in yet. You know, all the hiccups through even 100 episodes. But it's, you know, it is what it is.
Absolutely,
when 100%. You come live, that's what happens, you know.
I forgot to send this guy the link. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, my watch.
There we go. I think we got a good show for you guys tonight. We got a few topics up in hand. You know, some random topics. I put randomness at the end. I wanted to put randomness at its finest in honor of JJ because I think we'll just, you know, go off the top. We got some other stuff we wanted to talk about, but other than that, you know what I mean? We're just gonna chill and have some fun tonight. I want to say what's up to Basco in the house. What's up to
what up?
Duan in the house. I hope I said that right. You know, I always fuck up
Duan because you know I got that one in my name, so you just add the do in front of it. Duan.
So I did get it right. Okay, cool. Yeah, you know what I mean? We got Geeky Guy. I'm sending him the link, so he should be popping up here in a minute. You know, we just chilling out, hanging out, and there he is. Geeky Guy is in the house. JG will probably be popping up, and I sent it to LB to see if he wants to pop in. You know. So we'll see what's up, Geeky Guy. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great.
That's good. That's good.
You know it's fucked up when your phone don't recognize you, huh?
Oh, when you do the face,
I'm like, yo, bitch, it's me. How many times? Every angle, I'm like,
and then
people think I'm taking pictures of them and shit.
And then after the fucking third time, you gotta punch in the password, and you're like, "Why the fuck do I put my face scan if I gotta punch in the goddamn password all the time?"
Watch, Nzo. I double click on it to like reset the facial recognition. Sometimes it unlocks, and I'm so frustrated from double clicking, I fucking lock it and go through the shit again. It's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. Ever since I put this anti or privacy fucking screen on my phone.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I have some privacy.
It is that.
You can't be seeing me gaming and shit when I take the metro once every 5 years and shit. But my finger fucking print shit don't work.
What up,
it hardly recognizes me. So I gotta punch this long ass fucking password I put in there and can't change.
Yeah, it does do that. But at least you rocking with the iPhone. You know what I mean? It's the best phone out there. It's not an iPhone you have?
You're trying, eh? You're still recruited, huh?
It's not an iPhone. Hey, to be honest with you, I didn't know the Samsungs or the other phones had the Face ID anymore. Anyway, because iPhone was the first one to do that one. So I didn't.
Android supremacy. Android supremacy over here.
You know what? Let me just do this real quick. Because I don't want to hear this bullshit about Android stuff. I'm just going to leave these guys in the background. I'm going to hold the show my own because, really?
You can't help but us come back. We're like the plague, yo. We keep coming back. You think you got us, but we come back.
Danny said thumb button version is the best. I don't know. I like the fact that it doesn't have the thumb button, though. You know what I mean?
My shit ain't working, Danny, because I got this fucking privacy shit that's too thick to recognize my fingerprints.
You see, but that's what it is, though. It's the privacy.
Yeah. I ripped
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit off.
because
It's all back to normal.
I had mine on the phone too, right? Man, my phone, like sometimes I just pop on Twitter, right? Or yeah, Twitter, or maybe Instagram. And as soon as I open up, there's some ass right there. You know what I mean? So when you on the metro, you don't want fucking people looking
All
at
up
your
in your
phone, and
business.
you know what I mean? See? And
Thinking
it's
there's
like,
some
oh,
pervert
what
right
this guy
next to
wants?
them and
Yeah,
shit.
you know what I'm saying?
Wait,
Standing
which
your
is
business.
why, Anzo, which is why it's always important to delete your browser history before bed.
Well, you see, that's gonna be a part of one of the topics we had up here today to see if you guys, you know what I mean. But I never delete my browser history on my phone. Maybe I should start doing it. Well, I don't use my phone for anything else like that because phones can catch viruses just as quick as computers can. So
Is that like a
I wouldn't be
defrag
watching
geeky
no porn.
guy?
What was that?
Is that like a defrag, putting all your shit in order, cleaning files?
Damn right.
Yeah, I do that shit.
You see, Danny, this is
Mm.
why you my boy. We always on point in certain situations. Danny said, and this goes for you too, geeky guy. Go to the nearest body of water, Roberto and geeky guy, and throw that Android straight in there. iPhone is the superior product. Absolutely
Motherfucker,
100%.
motherfucker. Listen up.
You guys talk. I'll be right
iPhone.
back. I'll get a drink.
Go ahead, geeky guy, because you took momentum first. I'll hold back and restrain myself and hold up. Go ahead.
Oh, gee, okay, as I was saying, iPhone lost their creativity and their originality after Steve Jobs died. Because even though I will still give Steve Jobs crap for taking all the credit, even though it was the engineers who put the hard work in creating the iPhones, he just came up with the ideas, but he still came up with original ideas for the iPhone. Ever since after he died, they just never came up with anything like new or creative or anything captivating to make me want to gravitate more towards iPhones. The entire reason I switched to Android is because they have better user interface and because they and obviously a better security system. Because you have no idea how frustrating it was for me to try and get used to the iPhone security system.
I used to have an iPhone, geeky guy. I used to be an iPhone back in the day when they first came out.
Yeah,
And I looked at Apple as the evil empire for two reasons. First, I found out that this phone had much more capability than Apple was allowing me to have with it. So therefore, I felt like they were restraining shit from me, holding shit back on me. So I jailbroke my phone. And then I could say, you know what, geeky guy? I really enjoyed that phone when it was jailbroken. I could do whatever I want, make it look like an Android, make it look like a Samsung, make it look like anything, right? Had multiple functions. But Apple was constantly battling me, trying to make me lose that fucking privilege of having a jailbroken phone by updating their software every 5 minutes, right? So it got to
yeah,
the point where I lost the battle. And I said, you know what? This phone's boring, man. Now I know its
yeah,
full capability and I
So,
see what they're allowing me to use. I said, F this. And you can yawn all
so,
you want, Danny, because you don't know about a jailbroken phone. You think it's because
so,
you can call long distance. No, no, no.
so, what can you
Jailbroken
do?
means you can get into the back end and you can do
Mhm.
anything to the interface of your phone. You can do things that Apple doesn't want you to do because there's users out there who have this capability of doing this stuff. But Apple, the evil empire, says, no, we'll
So,
say what goes and what doesn't go.
what can you do with your phone that I can't?
It's not a matter of what I could do and what it can't. It's what your phone could do, but they're not allowing you to do. I'm not
Which
saying
is
the Samsung jailbreak your phone. Well, you can't do it anymore. But if you jailbreak your phone, Anzo, there's so many things you could do on your phone for
I know
free.
I had a jailbroken phone.
Not the long distance shit.
Yeah, I know I had a
Talking about
jailbroken
the
phone. Yeah,
codes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. jailbroke my iPhone.
Once they
Not
took that
now,
away,
but it was. I
I
think
said
it was the
F that.
iPhone. It was either the iPhone 5 or the
Yeah,
iPhone
yeah,
6.
that's when
One
it
of those
started.
iPhones. Yeah, yeah,
I made it up to 4,
yeah, yeah. But
you
I
know?
mean, at the end of the day, I sit there and I'm like, a lot of people complain. They first off, one of the things they complain about is the price, and I'm like, if you go and check the
It
prices,
is what it is.
the prices are the exact same. You
I
know what I
paid more
mean?
for my phone than the iPhone. It's not
Right.
necessarily the price. It's called
Exactly.
choice because you don't want to have enterprise. You don't want Apple to be the only thing out there. Then they control everything. You have to have choice, and the choice is Android. You choose one or the other. Democrat, Republican,
I'm with
left,
you,
right.
Danny. I'm with you, Danny. Fuck
Man,
these
Danny could come with his
Android
shit,
bullshit.
blah, blah, blah. Like, your word is last. Listen, I could bring as many people on here that will bash Apple as you could bring Apple will bash Android. Does that prove anything? You have the phone you have. I have the phone I have. We're all happy. Just let's get along. Fucking haters. Apple haters.
No, Android
Oh, you
haters.
guys.
The
No, I
Android
never
haters.
say I hate Apple. I
Android
never
will
say
No,
I
always
move
no,
on.
no, no,
You guys
no.
Android
What
love
I'm
will
no,
always have a
bashing
special
no,
place in my
Android.
no, no,
heart because
no,
the
no. What
very
I'm
first
saying.
Android phone I have.
No, what I'm saying is Apple users are Android haters. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
you're
I'm
right.
saying
You're right.
I'm an Android hater. Yeah, fucking Android. Fuck that garbage. And to geeky guy, he was talking about security. I don't know if the Androids have it now, but I know this phone, once you put in find my iPhone, it can never be broken. Never. If I lose this phone, you cannot, and someone finds it, they cannot break into this phone. They cannot reformat it. They cannot use this phone at all. And that's one of the things I love about it.
Well, I could do
Well,
that.
Android
Yeah.
always had a special place in my heart because the very first mobile phone I ever owned was an Android. It was a Samsung Galaxy S3. That was the one my dad got me for like my 12th birthday.
I got you. There ain't nothing wrong with that if you enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's whatever phone you like, whatever phone works for you. That's the best one you can use. I get
This
that
is it.
100%.
Each their own.
But it's Apple. Apple, guys.
Okay, Anzo, since you brought up iPhones, I'm actually considering switching over to an iPhone maybe later
See?
on this year. Like, even
See?
though I was just talking shit about it, the reason why is because the Google Play Store announced that they one of the apps that they were going to be using, which I frequently used, called Kindle. You can't buy any digital books or digital comics on there anymore if you're an Android user, and that
I
really
got
pissed
you.
me off. So, because I use Kindle a lot, and because I can't buy any online books anymore over there on an Android, I'm probably gonna have to switch over to an iPhone.
You got to do what you got to do, geeky guy.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
I don't hit Kindle, so that shit don't phase me. If they hit something that phases me, I'll be looking for another platform because I had a taste of both, and both of them left a bad taste at that point.
What you drinking tonight, Roberto?
Shit, where'd I leave my wine? I'll be back.
Oh my God. Hold on. Big ass man like Roberto. I asked the man what he drinking. He say he gonna go get his wine. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I'm thinking he's talking about, yeah, I got some Hennessy, some Quavas. He said, hey, I'm gonna go get my wine. Let me get some wine. Okay, my first phone was a flip phone, but I sure as hell don't want one now. Come on now, ever heard of evolution? Yeah, then I wouldn't
Yep.
use a flip phone either. Anyways, to be honest with you though, if you want privacy, a flip phone would be what to use, right? Because
Yeah.
these phones, they listen to everything you do. These smartphones, they can track
Oh
everything you
yeah.
do. You grab a flip phone from like an analog flip phone and you're good to go. But who
Yep.
wants that shit? You know what I mean? Can't watch booty on my flip phone. So fuck that shit. Oh god. But with that being said, guys, I think we got some good topics tonight. If you're seeing, like I said, we're gonna have some randomness topics. I have a question for these guys on the panel about
The
Black
Flash trailer.
History Month. The what? No, 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 no. We don't talk about pop culture stuff on here.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
get to that. Yeah, we get to that on another show. And then the other question I had is, and this probably not for Geeky Guy because he's younger, but some of you young guys in the chat, but for some of us older people, but especially being black, are you prepared if you were to die? That would be a question that I think actually should be something, at this age you should be discussing and talk about because you never know when you could go, right? So that's the topics for tonight. Danny said, Bones Fam or Maddie, ain't that wine? I have no idea. I was just saying that Danny, I was
heard you
like,
talking your shit when I was walking away. I heard you. Let me tell you,
okay, so,
one glass of this a day is supposedly good for you.
yeah, I know,
Anybody who
I know.
drinks wine to get drunk, good luck.
Yeah, for real, for real.
I mean,
Unless
I
you
mean,
drink like
I mean,
2 or 3
Here's the
bottles.
thing, Roberto. Here's the thing, Roberto. Wine contains far more alcohol, like a far greater percentage of alcohol than, say, whiskey does. So it can get you drunk faster.
To each their own, geeky guy. Because
But
I love grapes, and to avoid that overload of sugar that grapes contain, because we're also aware of what we're putting in our mouth now, wine is a safer alternative.
and here I
But
am talking
Roberto,
about. Hold on, here I am talking
Oh, we're
about
playing some
Roberto's
tennis
wine.
now.
I'm drinking Bailey's.
Oh, sorry. Is that a liqueur?
as damn, as I was saying, Roberto, for me, I don't really like drinking. Okay, don't phantom zone me for this, but I don't really like drinking wine that much because
To
the
each
first
their
time I
own, man.
tried it. The first time I tried it, it didn't even it didn't even taste grapey, if that makes sense. It tastes more like vinegar.
First off,
Maybe you had a
Roberto.
bad bottle.
Hold on. First off, Roberto, this guy isn't one who should be talking because he just started drinking like 2 months ago, right?
What?
It was actually 7 months ago, but whatever.
7 months don't make it much longer. Yo, geeky guy, how old are you, man?
He just,
21.
Age is
he
just
just
but a
turned.
number. We've
Yeah, he
never
just
asked
turned legal.
anybody. We've never asked anybody how old they were. I could think
Mm-hmm.
some of the people in the comments, based on our early beginnings, we had some youngins in our commentary, and they were getting X-rated shows up in this place. But we're old dogs up in here. I don't know how old to be exact. I think Anzo's what? He's got to
48.
be 50. Oh yeah, he's close to 50. He's close to 50.
Mm-hmm. I'm close to it.
So,
I'm hitting it. But that's why I said that would be a good topic to have, right?
we're a
The
different
one up in there.
different
Oh
generation
yeah, for sure.
of age group. As I was explaining to this woman the other day, I said, listen, when my pops was my age, he would not be doing a show like this. He would not be blazing. He would not be in the gym. He was being the typical pops, you got to wear the collared shirt, pens in your pocket, dress pants, like you work every fucking day. I said, that ain't never going to be me. I'm going to be like this till I die. People don't like it. That's their business, yo.
Facts.
Just don't come up in my face and share your business with me because you'll get a fight.
Facts.
That's all I'm saying, you know?
So Danny said I have my whole service suit coffin picked out. I also have what I want my loved ones to get as well. So we'll get into that topic first.
You're the po-po.
What are you saying, Roberto? He has to have one of those.
I think that's just
in case plans.
I think it's just part of the routine when you become a 5-0 because it's
high risk job, right?
Yeah, you can't really predict every day. The next day could be your last. God willing, it doesn't happen, but you got to be prepared for that, and it's a little too late when it happens, right?
So, are you prepared, Roberto?
Am I prepared to be honest? No, I'm not, because I don't plan to leave soon unless something strikes me fast. But that could happen to you in your 30s, your 40s, your 20s. You don't really know when it's going to happen. But I figure at some stage I'm going to start preparing because I got no choice.
So, what would you think would be a good age to start preparing then?
The whole fucking retirement age, the 6'5". 6'5" is a significant number in my life, so I think the big 6'5" is where I'm going to start saying, "Hey, okay, let me put my will together. Let me." Let my kids know some secrets, some things daddy put away, hoping to gain some value over many, 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 many years. The combinations that you better share before you forget. You know what I'm saying? Man, I forgot I had some shit stashed away. When I remembered, I thought I won 649. Ain't shit that I remembered. Just the fact that I did. Oh, fuck, I can't believe I left that there. Oh, fuck. You had those moments.
Do you have life insurance?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you have life insurance as well as I do.
Canada, you forget that shit, huh? That's just like common. I know you say that shit up in the States and be like, damn. No? Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, you're right. You see, these are things that Geeky Guy is young. He still doesn't have to think about yet. But
Is he
I think
Canadian too?
no.
Where you at, geeky guy?
Well, where am I at? Like which city?
Yes.
Well, I live in I live in a small town called Mubarak Al Abdullah in Kuwait.
You're coming live from Kuwait right now?
You see Roberto's face?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you serious?
It's
Yeah,
literally 5:30 in the morning where I'm at.
Yo,
Jeez.
respect, yo. Respect. We're touching all parts of this fucking planet, yo.
Mhm,
Respect.
mhm. Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us, geeky guy. We appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So what else was I gonna say? Since we're talking about if any of us are ready to die, for me, if you were to ask me that,
Wait. Hold on.
I ain't ready to
We
die.
didn't say we were ready to die. That was don't say that. That's like a jinx. We didn't say we
That's
were
an
ready to
episode
die.
that won't follow up, fuck.
We said, "Are you ready if you were to
Are you
die?"
prepared? Like,
yes,
have you
that's
taken
prepared.
care of your
Yeah,
business.
yeah. We ain't ready to die yet. None of us are. But go ahead.
for me, considering how much the world is going to shit right now, I don't really want to live long to see the consequences. So, lightning strike me now, I guess.
You know,
Well, okay. So
you make
yeah,
a valid
go
point
Roberto.
there.
I was
I'm
just
more
gonna ask.
curious to see when my kids have their kids, what it's going to be like. I hope I'm still
Right.
here, but that's what I'm anxious to see because we can swear now, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's fuckery right now. It's going to be some real fuckery coming later. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
for sure.
I'm hearing
for
some
sure.
laws that are going to be dropped here, Anzo, that are fucking numbing. Like, you better consider leaving this province. Numbing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So, what age do you think is the age? Like, how old do you want to live till? Let's put it that way.
30.
This guy said 30.
What, 9 more years, yo?
Nah, you don't want to do that, bro. Because I think, and most people I've talked to, their 30s, they've had the best time of their life in their 30s. I know mine was in my 30s. I don't know what Roberto's was, but I know that 30-year gap.
30s
I mean,
carried into 40s.
right. I had the bad shit in my 30s, but overall, like I've had
Yeah,
like some of
30s
the
was
best
good.
times in my life when I was 30. So you
30s
want to
was
go? What about you, Roberto? What age do you think is good? Like, do you want to live till
I don't
90?
really want to be calling out numbers to fucking jinx my kids, you know? I'm superstitious like that, man. For real. For real. Like, my heart's fucking palpitating and shit. Don't say a number. Don't say a number. Fucking right, I ain't saying
Okay.
a number because, listen, I just want to go pain free. I don't want to go down the way I saw my father-in-law go down.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking traumatic, yo.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to go out like that. I want to go out fucking just lying there knowing that I lived a good life. I did the best I could with my kids and
Man, piss off,
time
Danny.
for the next chapter, yo.
Danny said 30. Let me get the rest of them years. Hey, I'm with you, Danny. Especially if you're like okay. So for me, I really wouldn't want to say an age either, like Roberto too. But I know if I get to a point where I can't take care of myself, then that's when I want to go.
I would throw the
You know what I
question
mean?
more like this.
Anzo,
Do you see yourself
Anzo.
in your 80s? What you look
I
like?
don't. I don't.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't think I make it to 80.
I know I'm going to be busting a cap still.
Hey, Anzo.
Yeah.
Might be hard making it look straight, but I will be busting a cap.
Yeah, and still wearing t-shirts and jeans and shit. We still gonna be dressing the same
I
way.
might
That's
be
for
wearing
damn sure.
hoodies because my shoulders will be all shriveled up and shit. Put a hoodie on and fucking tie it up tight around.
Hey,
Try to get a little
Dandelion.
V happening,
Hey, Daniel.
Anzo.
What's up, Kiki guy? What are you gonna say? Yeah.
Actually, I changed my mind. I don't want to live until 30. I want to die at the ripe old age of 69.
69, good number.
Good number.
We
No,
know
no, no.
why.
I'm being serious. It would be
Hopefully it's
it
with
would
your
be a
lady friend.
pleasure. It would be a really big honor from the universe if I died at the age of 69.
Yeah, since you never experienced it, I get it. No problem.
Motherfucker, shut up.
So here's a question for you, and this could go for both of you guys and people in the chat too. Would you rather, like, if God came to you and said you could either know when you're gonna die or how you're gonna die?
Tough question. I would rather know when I'm gonna die
Yeah, I'd have to favor that side too.
because
I say, uh-huh.
Anzo, the reason I say I'd rather prefer to know when is, have you ever read the play by Shakespeare, Macbeth?
I know it, never read it, but yeah.
Yeah, so basically the plot is there were three witches who can see the future that tell that tell Macbeth what's going to happen to him in the future, and that really fucks him up because he starts doing a lot of messed up shit because he wants the future that he was told was going to happen to happen. And so that's why I don't want to know how I'm going to die in the future, because I think I'm going to make a lot of messed up decisions that are going to mess it up.
And Danny said how to. He doesn't want to know when.
Yeah, okay. You want to know how? Okay, Danny, you're gonna be stabbed 76 fucking times. How you feel about that? I don't want to know that shit. I don't want to know that shit because by the 20s I'll be dead.
Right, and I would say if you know the how, then maybe you can change it. But just because you know the how, you don't know when that's gonna happen, right?
When you
so you
know
can't,
the when,
right?
you
You
can
can't.
change that too. Oh, you're gonna die October 3rd. You fucking put saran wrap and you put bubble wrap all over you on that day, and you just fucking stay in the corner of your house. The building will probably demolish on you. If it's your turn,
I have a question for
It's your
both of
turn.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
Anzo, I have a question for both you and Roberto. What is your biggest fear of dying of? Like, what is the one thing you are really afraid of dying from?
me, it was drowning.
Ooh, well, you see, drowning. I'm gonna say like something, like I think it would be a stroke. I think that would be the one thing I don't want to die by. I don't want to have a stroke. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
for me, please don't laugh at me for this, but this is actually a legitimate fear of mine. My biggest fear is dying of anal cancer.
Oh my God, we got Rob Storms
It's
Jr.
common, right? It's
No,
common.
no, really, I don't want to die of ass cancer, because think of how much I would really struggle to take a shit while I'm dying.
So wait,
It's
ass
very
cancer is common? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, my biggest
You
fear
have
would be
those
dying of
fucking
ass cancer.
colonoscopies, man. You think people want to go through that shit?
Well, cancer is another thing that I wouldn't want to die from either, right? I watched that shit kill my mom.
Well, we're
So
talking. I don't know if I didn't know we were getting
Oh,
all
I'm sorry
deep
about
like
that.
that. I was thinking like, would you rather not drown? Would you rather not get shot? Would you not rather not get stabbed, burned? I thought we're going on those levels. Like you guys talk about cancer and strokes. I didn't know we're getting that deep. If you want to go
it's up to you, whichever way you want to go. But I mean,
because I'm thinking like drowning and burning are two things where you're suffering, even stab,
well,
like that's
you
fucked up
see,
too, yo.
right when you say the drowning, and I'll get to Dandelion's comment because she's just like me, which is the buried alive. I'll never forget when I watched that movie Serpent and the Rainbow. I think that was the first movie I ever seen where they buried somebody alive, and that shit had me scared as hell. I would hate to be
But you're
buried alive.
claustrophobic, so
Yes.
you think people forget, huh? You think people are foolish.
No,
I
I
know
know,
you're claustrophobic, so no
yeah.
fucking kidding that will fucking haunt you more. That's like you going for a brain scan. There's no way you're going in that machine. There's
I'd have
no
a hard time
way.
with it. I'd have a hard time with it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
it's almost like being buried because you're in that. Man, you're fucking confined in that shit, huh? It's almost like a coffin.
The only thing that would save me from that is like your feet still hang out, right? Like if they closed you in where your feet were in and they had to like lock it and shit from the outside.
Well, you're pretty much
no.
You're pretty much like in a death position when you
Yeah.
go for that.
Yeah. But there's an opening, right?
Yeah.
So because your feet hang out, so there's an opening. So that would at least have me.
You're
I
still on
still
the
feel
platform. What do
no,
you
I
mean
still
hang
feel
out? Like you
claustrophobic,
could see
but
them?
right, like you could no,
Okay.
not you can see it, but you could see outside, right?
Okay.
You're not in
There's
like a
not you're
coffin.
not like closed in. I got you.
Closed in, right? Yeah, exactly. So if anything, I could just like squidge my way out of there. You know what I mean? But now, if they had something where it locked your feet and you were like in a coffin, like a literal coffin type of thing, no, 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 no. Fuck a brain scan. To be honest with you, they're like, "Oh yeah, sir, you just gotta lie in here for 30 minutes, and we're gonna lock you in." Nope, not happening.
Looks like Danny brought a tennis racket today, huh? You feel like playing some tennis today there, Mr. Comic Chat?
He said, "Well,
If
would you
God
feel
comes and
better if
says
God
something
said
to me, I gotta listen, sir. How you like that answer? I'm gonna argue and debate. He says 5 minutes, I say, I hope it's a good one, God. See you soon. Let's do this. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, then I said I don't want to be buried alive. Those collapsed building videos freak me out. And man, when you see um the earthquake that happened in, was it Chile? Or wherever the earthquake was,
That's Turkey.
man, huh?
Turkey.
Turkey.
In Turkey, yeah, they are still finding people buried under rubble. That shit would fucking freak
You
me
know
out as
why?
well too.
Because the buildings were built out of paper mache. That's why
Pretty
these
much.
people are surviving. That's why they're going after the fucking engineer who put those buildings together because they're falling like paper, man.
Mm-hmm. Man, definitely don't want dementia or Alzheimer's. Yeah, I don't want those either, to be honest with you. Don't want to die of dementia. Yeah, you see, and those things, right? The reason why
But
they're
dying of that
really
cancer.
bad to die from
But
is
you don't have a
because you.
choice.
No, I know. Like if you get it, but I'm just saying you get to a point where you don't remember your family, and you know what I mean, and anybody around you. And I don't want to. I want to at least be able to die with my memories. You know what I mean? Remembering my parents who passed away, remembering my kid, remembering the girl I'm with or whatever. I and just because my son's mother has Alzheimer's, man, and she'd be telling me sometimes she go there and she don't even recognize that she's her daughter. That's crazy.
It's fucked up.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, Wes Craven, Serpent and the Rainbow, good call, Anzo. Yeah, that shit was fucked up. I'm with Anzo. Nope to closed places, except I'm good with planes. You see, that's where you're a little better with me. Cause I still feel like even though like you could get around in a plane and walk around, but it's just for me, I'm still locked in there. And then you're gonna lock me in there and put me how many feet up
How do you
in the
take the
eye
metro though?
there? The metro's not a problem until it stops. I promise you, 100%. When that metro, especially the new ones, because the old ones, right? They always had like separate carts, right? And in separate carts, certain carts, they had that little door on the end that you could always open up and walk through, if anything. But the new ones are just a long car with
Yep.
no. So yeah, if that metro stops if it stops in the tunnel, I panic. I
Well,
panic.
you're lucky you weren't with me. That one time I happened to take the metro after fucking 10, 15, maybe 20 years, yo.
It
We
stopped
came
in the
into
tunnel.
Lino Grove Metro and that shit, like someone jumped on the tracks because we were coming in, start slowing down when you're coming in the Lino Grove.
Mhm.
Then it just stopped dead. I just saw people flying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And we sat there for a good 10, 15 minutes. I thought somebody jumped in front of the tracks.
Mm.
I see everybody looking down, walking up, looking down. We're just sitting there. Nobody's telling us nothing, man. Some people are hurt.
I think if
Literally.
someone
But
jumped, you would have been there a lot longer than 10 minutes. To be honest with you.
no, but the way they jammed that car,
Yeah, yeah,
I've
yeah. No,
never
no.
been on a
Actually,
thing where it's
yeah, yeah.
like it slows down and you're
Mhm.
holding on. You're like, oh, this shit stopped dead on. So like
I
I,
got you.
I never experienced that, man. Never. I was sitting down and I almost slid off.
Then I said, I've been in a tube twice. All you have to do is cover your eyes. It's very doable. You mean the tube to check for a brain scan? Listen, as long as I can see a way out, then I'm good. If I don't see a way out of it and I feel like hey, listen, I used to go to the water slides, right? And I would never go in the water because the water slides, you have the ones that are straight up open, but then you have the ones that have like a whole round tunnel where you go through. I'd never go through the ones in the tunnel. I was like, what if I go in there and as soon as I get to end, this big cage drops down, boom, and we're all stuck in there and like, yeah, my mind went crazy
What
places,
imagination
but
you
yeah,
got, yo?
you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
What the
it's
fuck?
it's only when I got older that's when I did them. But when I was younger and I used to go to water slides, oh hell to the no, bro, hell to the no. Damn,
I
so
did
they
an MRI scan once.
oh yeah,
Yeah, but it was
I haven't done one.
up till my neck because I wanted to do an MRI scan of my abdomen. So it was only up until my neck. Then my head was poking out. So thankfully, I still got some semblance of space.
I got you. I took a course on how planes work and how to fly them, and I'm totally cool with planes. I do try to pump who up for the good seats, so I'm not so crowded in. You see, me, I can do crowds and everything. It's just I'm locked in there, and that's the problem. Then he said MRI, CAT scan, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I feel you. But
You know what you do, Ansel? If
And police scans.
you get liquored up enough, trust me, you'd be surprised what you could fly through. Because
maybe.
I flew to Halifax. I was desperate to get back. I don't know why I came back to Montreal, but I had to get back to Halifax for some reason. And there was a fucking storm. And when I left Montreal, we boarded the plane on the runway, which I never did before because I never went in a plane that small before, saying, yo, what are you doing? Cancel this flight, man. It's raining. This plane is like a Learjet. You have no business. I took the flight. They must have gave me about 6 or 7 Canadian clubs, those little Mickeys.
Mm-hmm.
When I landed in Halifax, you swear I was on the party bus. You swear I drank 2 bottles of liquor.
What up, Lunga?
Anzo, I never experienced turbulence like I did on that flight.
Mm-hmm.
And to look around in this plane and know that if it crashes, there's only but me and 2, 3 other people on this plane. We might not even make the front page.
Mm. I don't know. I think if I was drunk, I'd probably panic more. But I just want to say,
Really?
what up to Lunga? Yeah, what up, Lunga? Hope you're feeling better, man. He was in a little accident with some drunk driver, and
Oh,
I just hope you're doing good, brother. Much respect.
hope you're
So here's a
feeling it, man.
question. So here's another question. Now, if you were to pass away, would you feel comfortable with,
Oh, this death talk, bro.
family members or something or whatever going through your shit?
We have no choice.
Absolutely not.
So they going through your browser history, they going through your phone, you know what I mean? Because obviously it's gonna happen, right? Would you feel comfortable?
Well, Anzo, here's the
Just giving
thing.
them the password.
Anzo,
What I want to
Anzo,
Yeah.
Anzo, here's the thing. I'll be too dead to care. So if they go through all my shit, well,
You know what I'm
whatever.
saying, geeky guy? What can you do? Oh, wait till I die. You're gonna hear this. Wait till I die. Yo, Anto, in all honesty, if my loved one, God forbid, passes away before me, there's no way I'm going through her phone. I don't know what kind of person would do that. If that's the case, then I don't even know why you were with
Well,
that person.
I'm saying go through it because, like, let's say now you're talking your wife, obviously,
Mhm.
right? So you know her family members or whatever. But let's say you don't have certain contacts to contact people to let them know that she passed away, and you know they're in her phone. I'm not saying
You
like
just click
searching her
on
phone.
you could click on my Facebook and you can see all the Mendezes that are associated to me. You don't need to be touching my phone. Not that I have anything to hide, because I leave my phone facing up all the time. I don't know how
Mhm.
brothers want to go somewhere and put their fucking phone face down and say, "Why you up in my business?" What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? Are you kidding me?
What
If
up,
my wife
drop
put her
shot?
phone upside down, I don't think it'll be more than 2 fucking seconds before I say, "What's up with that?"
I feel you. Hey,
You know,
Lunga, let me
Anto?
know. Let me know if you want to pop in. No, I feel you on that.
That's how
Like
we
you,
roll. We're we grew up
but
in
you
the
know, if they're
same.
keeping their phone down, it's for a reason, right?
For sure. When you hiding, oh, it's a reflex. Oh, you did some dirty shit in your past,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a bad reflex to have. Who puts their phone upside down? You know, you can easily block your notifications without looking
Yeah,
so
yeah,
sketchy.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Educate yourself, yo.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That's like
Absolutely,
the guy
100%.
blasting his music with his hand turned sideways, and Danny knows what I'm talking about. He's at the stoplight, 5-0's there, and he's like, yeah, yeah. And then they pull him over and he said, why? Because I'm black?
Mm-hmm. Long as
You
they
know what I
say
mean?
that, why
Yeah.
do you care? I get it, but you may like certain things, right? Let's say you like certain type of things, and now they're going through your MacBook or your computer, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And then they go through your browser, it's like, "Wait, Asian porn? You like Asians, really?" You know what I mean? Something like that.
You just hope that when it's your day and all your people are there sending you your shout out, that while you're rising to the sky, you can look and say, yeah, man, everybody fucking showed up. Look at that. Oh, she's there and he's there. Oh, I hope they don't talk. Oh, look at that. While you're
Right.
while you're rising to the
Right.
sky, you can say,
Right.
yeah, man, look how much people showed up at my shit. It wasn't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
what's his names.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's
you're
what you
also
hope.
saying, oh shit, she's there and she's there too. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know what? I'm gone, yo. You
Yeah,
guys deal
for
with that shit. That ain't my problem anymore. And you just keep sailing up, man. All your fucking problems are gone. Brook.
real.
Some of you
Like
going
I said,
downstairs. You're gonna
my
see him
wife
for a minute.
watches all my porn. Yeah, same here. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we do it together and stuff, but I'm just saying, you might be having some freaky shit that you might not want them to see. But other than that, like I said,
Everybody
you
got
dead, so it
secrets,
doesn't
yo.
matter. Yeah, for sure. Hands down.
Everybody got secrets.
Click off those X Hammer browser history. Yeah, you know what I mean? The porn hubs and all of that shit. So it's an interesting thought. Go ahead.
I did that shit when fucking internet first came out, and I learned such a hard lesson. I have PTSD when I think about porn. Because back in the day, you click on that porn site, man, you be closing windows the rest of your life.
Facts.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's facts.
fuck. After that, man,
Yeah,
I said, I ain't touching porn. I don't care what's
yeah,
on it.
yeah.
I ain't touching it. I ain't touching it, yo.
It's a lot better now, but yeah,
I
I know
don't
what
care.
you're
I got
saying.
PTSD from it, Anzo.
No, I
I
know,
swear
I
to God, I
know.
got arthritis. I said,
Yeah, yeah,
"Who
yeah,
said?
yeah, yeah,
How's
yeah.
this fun? How's this fun?" Every
Yeah,
time I
yeah.
log in, I got fucking 100 windows opening up. As soon as I close 99, they all come right back again.
But you see, Lunga, that's why it works. You know what I mean? It's like she's freakier than me. Yeah, no, we have a different kind of relationship. That's why it works, though. You know what I mean? You got
For
to get
sure.
someone that's like-minded and stuff like that. And
This is it.
if you a freak and she a freak, yes, you guys gonna be freaky together, and it's fun. You know what I mean? It's fun like
That's
that.
the fire that you light. Keep lighting it, yo. You found your match. It's what
Facts,
it's fucked up when you're trying to twist somebody into your shit. They be
facts.
calling
Yeah,
you weird and
exactly.
all of these things. You found the wrong
Mm-hmm,
girl. Move on.
mm-hmm.
Like if
100%.
Greg Council is into pegging and stuff, then he's into that. No problem.
Oh shit, that's hilarious. So the next topic that we had on here, and I was thinking about it, I'm just like, you know what can we talk about? I'm like, it's Black History Month. And then I remembered Morgan Freeman talking about
Yeah, it's funny. Go ahead, Anzo. Go ahead. That's fucking scary, yo. Go ahead.
how,
Reagan.
that there shouldn't
Morgan
be
Freeman.
Black history. He said, bro, really? You don't know me?
Anto, since you brought that up, the line of reasoning that Morgan Freeman used in that interview didn't really make much sense to me. So his argument was that, oh, if you guys just stop talking about racism, it'll just go away. Well, then, by that same line of reasoning, if I stop talking about hurricanes, are hurricanes going to go away? If I stop talking about the rain, is the rain going to go away? Like, rain, rain, go away, little Johnny wants to play.
No, I agree
It's
with
just
you
the line of
You have
reasoning
100%.
a
he used
valid
didn't make
point,
sense to
but
me.
he did make sense on his mention of who else celebrates something like Black History Month, and he asked the reporter who was Jewish, do the Jews celebrate Jewish History Month? No. Do the Germans celebrate German History Month? No. Do the Asians celebrate Asian History Month? No. So why 1 month? For me, when I saw that, and I'm saying it's so funny that Anzo said that because I just saw it the other day and I saw deeper into it than I saw it the first time. And he makes a valid point because For me, how I see it is
What's up?
they're giving us that 1 month as a reward. Okay, have your fun for 1 month. It's the shortest month in the year. Have your fun. And then when it's done, it's done. March 1st, we don't even want to hear no shit about Black History Month. Let's go back to business. And we start talking about shit that gets Danny upset. You know what I mean?
so okay.
I love it.
So if I'm
That's a
guessing,
fucking mackerel serve. Sorry.
you are on the side of no Black History Month.
It's not necessarily I'm on the side. It just makes sense. Why are we the only ones that have this? Is it a privilege or is it a scar? Is it an
You actually
embarrassment?
don't.
Somebody laughing and saying, look at them. They get 1 month and they're fucking happy. Look at them. They're quiet for a whole month. We don't have to hear this. Oh, it's because I'm Black shit. Oh, racism shit. Because they're celebrating for 1 month and then it's over. For 11 months, we get back to business. It kind of, if somebody else were saying, why the fuck don't we get a month? Then I'd be saying, sorry, you're not making sense with your statement. But nobody else is jumping to that, Anzo.
Yeah, but you see, I say because they don't tell our history. That's the problem. You can get Jewish history, you can get Asian history, but
It has its argument. You're right.
They ignore our history. They ignore our importance to America and what we've done for America and what you know
Exactly.
what I mean?
1 month.
Like
That's
keep this in mind,
No,
Anzo.
I agree. Go ahead, Gigi.
I didn't find out about Black Wall Street until I watched that one HBO series on Watchmen.
The Watchmen? Right.
Yeah. It's unacceptable that I didn't find out about it until now. You are correct in the sense that they don't teach enough about Black Americans' contributions to American history.
Yeah, but why? It's good. It's good that you mentioned contribution because all they talk about is misery. And when I was in New York and I was taking that Uber with that guy who had lightened me onto some shit that just blew me away, that all of these lakes that came out of nowhere were once predominantly Black neighborhoods that were striving and wiped out by a lake.
Mm-hmm.
And there's several of them in the U.S., not just one. There's several. To the point I researched it and saw it and said, holy fuck, nobody's talking about this. Nobody. And I'm sure that one woman who dropped that knowledge that made me, I think I sent it to you, Anzo.
Yeah.
She dropped so much knowledge. There's no way they're going to allow that to come out because it sounds so truthful.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to cause ripples, man. Reparations.
Well, they talk about, what they used to do to, and I remember, I think it's Bill Duca, the Black dude, when we talked about it last week, where they were showing how what they did to us, where they put us on like a fucking rotisserie and burned Black people alive and stuff like that, right? I didn't know that stuff until like a few months ago. The regular stuff, but that's something you don't really hear. So I think that's the reason why we have Black History Month. But again, at the same time, you're right. It's just 1 month, and we should be getting Black history throughout the whole year, right? You should learn about our history. I think just the fact that they at least give us a month, though. But again, it can go both ways,
But why do we have to have them give it to us? Why don't we celebrate it for more than 1 month, like we do that 1 month, and say, this is how we're going to roll from now on. We're going to make people know every fucking day, every day for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. And then watch, there's going to be problems, Anzo. Oh, they're starting a revolt. Oh, they're going to start rioting. They're going to start. And they fucking come out with full police force and put it to sleep.
And Anzo, and Anzo, like I said before, as I think you pointed this out too, Black people are more than just their traumas. We should be telling more stories of Black American inventors who have contributed so much to our society. I just found out until now that the guy who invented potato chips was a Black guy. George Crumb, he was the guy who invented potato chips.
Danny said there's a rumor or belief that if they get rid of Black History Month, it will be the first step of leaving it out of the school curriculum. Totally. Hey, to be honest with you, it's pretty much out of the school system anyways, Danny. I feel with you 100%, they try to bury that Black history in schools, or they did when I was in school, 100%. I only want to be celebrated every day. Well, I say that too. We definitely want to be Our history is more than a month. I agree with you 100%. I just think that the fact that it's been taken away from us, you know what I mean? They give us a month to spotlight it. I don't know. It's catch 22.
I'm trying to think when I was a kid. When did this Black History Month start? Because I don't remember that as a kid. How old is
Yeah,
Black History Month? Could
I
somebody
don't know.
tell me?
I think it's pretty old. I think we had it
I
when we
don't
were
think it's
kids.
very old because as a kid, I don't remember Black History Month.
Okay, so I looked it up. Black History Month started in 1986 when the United States Congress
You see, I
passed.
don't remember it being it that old, man. Because when I was young, like I'm talking like 10 years old, 11, there was no Black History Month. You know what there was? There was some good Black family-oriented TV shows. That's
Lunga
what there
said,
was.
Lunga said it started when white guys started Googling who invented the potato chip. Yeah. Hey, first open heart surgery is from a black man. The stoplights that you see out there every day was created by a black person,
I
right?
believe the elevator.
Yeah, possible. I think I heard that too. Not 100% sure about that one. I'd have to Google it, but it's
I mean,
possible.
we don't need to go and fucking start gloating about all the
Yeah, yeah,
shit
yeah,
we've
yeah.
done. Just like, Colonel Sanders didn't fucking invent KFC, but,
Right.
look where it came from. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
surprised?
Mm-hmm.
Give me that shit. I'm going to make a fortune off it. You lucky I let you live.
Yeah, they
and
just
and,
started
and also,
recognizing Juneteenth recently. Yeah, when I first heard Juneteenth, I'm like, what the fuck is Juneteenth?
Yeah, what is that?
Juneteenth. You see, you
it's
see?
it's
Go
the
ahead.
anniversary. Okay, just to explain to Roberto, it's the anniversary of when General Robert E. Lee declared all slaves in the southern states to be free.
Okay. Because you see,
And
we're Canadians, so that shit doesn't really affect us. They're not going to put it in our history. They're not going to give us any knowledge of that unless I catch Schoolhouse Rock or, you know, something on the news that'll
and,
tell me.
and,
I'm telling you
and,
honestly, no jokes.
unfortunately, we don't have Schoolhouse Rock anymore because I know we
They don't want
learned
to
a lot.
educate us, man. They don't
You
want to
know what I
educate
mean?
us.
We
Fucking
learned a
shit
lot
taught me
of
what a
different
noun
stuff.
was. It taught me
What
what
a
a
bill
verb
was.
was, what a bill was, how they fucking make that shit happen in politics. They were educating us, man, in
Facts.
cartoons, you know?
Facts. Facts. Langa said an Italian invented the radio. Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like they don't they keep all of that stuff to themselves, right? You know what I mean? Like, oh no, we can't tell anybody that black people are Italians or anybody created this. It's like they have this world and they just want you to think everything is all white and dandy, and it's crazy. It's not taken away. We choose to celebrate silly things on calendars. Dandelion said, "There's no. It's the day when they informed the last community with slaves that they were free. No phones in those days. Yeah, for real. That's
You know
why an
what I thought?
Italian busted up Radio Raheem's boombox."
Remember back in the day, I told you I had a concept for a movie of something along the lines go back where you came from.
Hmm.
It would be funny if some fucking, just let's say, a white guy screamed out, I wish everyone just go back where they came from. All you hear was a bunch of Indians cheering.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They'd be cheering. Yes!
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yes! We
Hmm.
got our land back because that's their land. Nobody has the right to fucking say USA is theirs.
Hmm.
They're all
Absolutely.
guests. All
Yeah, yeah,
guests.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
So
100%.
that statement is so arrogant. That's why it fucking brings out anger in people. Go back where you came from.
Hmm. So,
If people,
motherfucker, you ain't from here.
you know
The
what I
fuck you
mean?
talking about? Yeah,
Wouldn't
yeah.
that be a blockbuster movie? Everybody just fucking boop, 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 disappeared. Hey, what the fuck am I doing here? I thought I was American. People would be fucking tripping, yo. You ain't American.
And he
You
said,
really
I'm
want to
just a
dig down
Bill,
deep.
just a lonely old Bill, and I'm sitting here in Capitol Hill. Facts,
That's right,
Danny.
Danny. That's right. That's right.
That used to be one of my favorite ones, though. You know what I mean? That Bill one used to be one of my favorite ones as well. Geeky guys like, what the hell are these old guys talking about?
Yo,
Exactly.
that down song helped me in fucking school. I'll tell you right now. How do you
Facts.
know that was a person, place, or thing? Yo, that song's still ringing in my head. It's like brainwashing you and shit.
So it's, Anzo, Anzo,
Yeah.
it was great being on here, but I gotta head out. But yeah, see you next time.
Now that we
No
know where you
problem,
are,
man.
geeky guy, we totally understand you. Respect.
Peace out.
Yeah, thank you. Because
Enjoy.
you guys are like speaking Japanese to me with these old songs that I've never heard of before.
We got that.
Anyways, see you guys later.
Peace. Peace.
Peace out. Peace out. And then there
So
was two.
I guess our content was too boring for our other two guests who are normally here. You're not used to seeing the screen like this, but this is how it originally started. And this is how it probably will end. So get used to this
Absolutely.
shit. Get used to
Yes.
that shit.
Yes, Longo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Bum, bum, bum.
Absolutely. Schoolhouse rock, baby. You see, they don't do that shit anymore. You know what I mean? These young generations don't know what they're missing. Danny said, conjunction, junction. What's your function?
Yeah, that one was a little tough for me, Daddy. That one was a little tough for me. It was a boom song, but I had a hard time holding that fucking one with me.
Yeah, we showing our age right now. You know what I mean? We showing our age, but it is what it is. But yeah, so like I said, man, it could be good. It could go both ways where I can understand why people don't want Black History Month, but I can also understand why we should have it. You know,
It should have been a start to become more, not something
Mhm.
that we come content with. You know, nobody's speaking out for more. And when he comes out and says what he says, some people see that as arrogant. But look how old he is. You know,
Right.
he has a different mindset. How he grew up was different. Nobody wants to take those things into consideration. It's now or else. But it doesn't work like that, right? See, for
Mhm.
me, it might affect me a little more than Anzo because I'm a little older and I witnessed more what he saw and listened to on the TV. I witnessed. And he has that on people younger than him. That's what experience is all about. And if people can't comprehend that, they're ignorant and they just won't believe anything. So don't fucking waste your breath.
Absolutely, 100%. So now, random topics that we have here. I had this one for a while. I think I'm going to show it up. I want to get Roberto's take on it. I don't know if Roberto has seen it. It's a little bit old, but
Is it gonna
it's
piss Danny off?
no, it's not
Oh, okay.
Natasha. Well, it might because he's Steph Curry fan, you know. So Steph Curry was criticized by fans after him and his wife opposed multifamily development near their 30 million mansion as safety and privacy is their main concern. Thoughts, Roberto?
You know, maybe he lives in a predominant neighborhood where he's witnessed neighborhoods transform into higher crime rate and higher criminal activity when these transitions take place. Who are we to judge? But I can tell you this, I'm sure everybody's judging the negative in this whole statement because they're seeing them as, oh, you think you're too big to live with people like that? Well,
Mm-hmm.
isn't he?
I mean, if
Not
you
everybody
really,
makes the money this man is making. If he wants a
Mhm.
little privacy, why can't he have it?
But why does that mean he's not going to still have his privacy though? If
It's
he has the
all an
money, he has
assumption on, so it's all an
no,
assumption.
I know,
Unless
but
he
I'm
has
just
some
saying
magic
if
fucking.
he has the money he has, right? I'm sure his house, his $30 million house, is gated. You know what I mean? It's well protected. So,
But you see how they
but
jump Pablo's walls.
you see the reason why I kind of understand his mind thinking or the way of thinking is because he never lived like that. His father was an NBA player, right? So he was born with money. You know what I mean? He never had to live, in poverty like some of these athletes do that have just come up. You know what I mean? He's always been well off. He's probably lived in a great community for his whole life, father
Sure, he
mansion and everything like
experiences
that.
racism, but on a different level.
Right. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I understand his mindset, but I also think that especially with some of these NBA players, the way they go on, like they're so pro black and they're so this and want to help out a community, and then to hear that you're doing that, kind of like, well,
Well, it just shows you who the ones are and who's the ones that aren't, and it's pretty
right,
evident that he isn't. But
right,
as far as thinking he's bigger than himself, I always see him greeting the people, signing, taking pictures with
hmm,
black, white, doesn't matter what the kids are. So again, everything has become CSI. Everyone has their own outtake. If you can just take it for what you think it is and move on, then it's all good. But if you want to voice your opinion and find sides, you might not like the answer that I have or Anzo has. That's what it comes down to, Anzo. That's what it really comes down to, and it's fucking sad.
I get it. It also brings down the property value and stuff like that at the same time, right? But I mean,
Personally, if I was Curry, I wouldn't give a shit. I
right,
got money.
that's what I'm
My
saying.
kids
Yeah.
got my kids are gonna see this money. Their kids might see this money if everything goes good. So what do I care if my 30 million sells for 25 million?
Pretty much. Well, I'm pretty sure he don't want to take a loss, anyways, right?
But
Nobody
keep in
wants
mind,
to take that
Anzo,
loss. Yeah, yeah, I know. He's
that
like,
that development that's moving up by him, right? Or trying to move
mhm.
by him. Do you think it's middle class and lower class people moving there? I don't think so.
No, probably
Because there's
not.
no way they could afford to live in that area. So
Yeah, no, no, it's low,
who are the people
low
that are going to
housing.
be moving into those places that he's worried
Mhm.
about crime? That's a question you got to ask too, right?
Well, you know what people's moving in there.
Because my daughter was just up in San Francisco, and all
Hmm.
she could tell me is homeless, homeless dad. There's homeless people everywhere,
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
everywhere. I can only imagine because you see, when you go downtown here, every corner has someone begging for money.
Yeah, that's homeless people everywhere.
Imagine over there, Anzo.
Hmm.
Fuck,
So,
that's scary
what are you
shit.
saying? If it was you, would you be against it? Would you be for it?
In all honesty, me, my character, I wouldn't give a shit because I take the economic state right now and I know what kind of people could afford to move in this place. Why should I be worried?
Mm.
Unless
Well,
you're,
I think.
having a drug dealer sale. And you can have all Crips and Bloods up in here and,
Yeah, but I think the community would probably be for low housing people, right? So you'd probably
there.
get people. Yeah, yeah,
What
something
area is
like that.
that? Because the TV
I don't
shows
know
I
where he
watch where
lives.
these guys are living, I don't
You
see
know
no
what I
low.
mean?
I don't see
Yeah,
no
yeah,
low
for real.
income people living
Yeah,
there,
for real,
man. That
for real.
shit just will
But
fucking be an eyesore
yeah, yeah,
amongst those multi-million-dollar mansions.
right. And that would be the question. Like, how far would this so-called community be from where you live? Right? It's not going to be around the corner. It's not
I think I figured
happening.
it out,
You know what
Anzo.
I mean?
I think I figured it
Go
out. The
ahead.
building's gonna be ugly. The building's gonna be an eyesore amongst all those monster fucking houses in that neighborhood. They're gonna be like, "What's that? Why is that there?" That's how I could
they'd
see they
probably
have an issue.
they'd probably paint it purple and gold, just to piss them off, given that Laker color building. You
Why
remember
does
these
it even
guys,
matter?
LeBron
Why is
James?
it making headline news like that?
I don't know. I guess people found out about it, and I personally, if it was LeBron James, I'd probably feel more of a way, right? Because you could see how LeBron James is so
He's
into
righteous.
helping us, and
Yeah.
right, and then to know that he don't want poverty people living
I'd be
next to
like,
him,
"You're a
be like,
fucking
okay,
hypocrite, yo."
yeah, like slap in the face type of thing. So I'd feel more if it was Bron James, but because, like I said, he's grown up with money, he may see things or look at things a little bit different than LeBron James would.
Because you ever hear anything about Curry being hoity-toity and anything along those lines?
Not really.
Most superstars of his stature have that kind of reputation.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I never heard
Uh,
nothing about him, so I can't think harsh in the matter. If he's looking this as a financial thing, then yes, he has the right to be upset if he's going to lose 5 million. To guys like us, we take his money and don't care if we lose 5 million, still having the rest of his money, we'd be okay with that. If I told you, Anzo, I'm going to give you 100 million, you're going to lose 5 million. If you don't lose that 5 million, you don't get the 95 million. What's your answer?
I'll lose the 5 million.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? That's what I'm trying to say. But if you're him and you did whatever you did to get there, and you chose to move in a neighborhood for your family because of the neighborhood was the way it was, and now they're trying to change that shit up, do you have the right to complain?
Yeah, I feel you. You might like this one, Roberto. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, of course. Fuck, it was headline news.
NHL
Headline
player,
news.
even whatever his last name is, jersey sells out online
Ivan
after
Provorov.
he refused to wear Pride jersey. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, boo-hoo-hoo. Do you guys know where this guy is from?
Russia, no? Russian?
Okay. How do they feel about gays in Russia?
Probably not.
I'm not
like
saying it's
American
right.
people.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's right. We all know how they feel about gays in Russia, or at least Putin wants them to feel. So if this man participates in this and does whatever he does, this could affect him back home. So he politely refused to take part. He didn't demean anybody. He didn't insult anybody. He just chose not to take part, Anzo. You want to go or you don't want to go, Anzo? I want you to go. Aren't you going to make the decision you want to make?
Yeah.
Either you want to go or you don't want to go, right? If you don't want to go, do I have the right to question your thoughts, your being, everything about you because you chose not to go? This man chose not to wear a gay pride jersey. I think I heard about it for maybe 3 weeks on every fucking sports show that I listen to, because that's all I really listen to, because music sucks. But every fucking sports show I listened to, they talked about this man and how the Washington Capitals were wrong in allowing him to play the game, and you're setting the wrong impression. And please explain to me what impression is. If you're not abiding to what they want, you're suddenly wrong and bad.
Pretty
Everybody
much.
has to do what you want.
You see, the thing is, right, and we've talked about this before, they act like because you don't want to do it, it's anti, right? Anti. Oh, he's anti-gay. And I'm just like, that may not be the case, Maybe it's just something he's not for, right? And I find a lot of countries other than Western countries have a different take on it. You know what I mean?
Because they
America
weren't
has
touched by the shit.
Right. America has a take on it that's where it's like,
Also, it's
everybody.
North American. It's not just America. It's North America.
Yeah, I said Western.
Okay.
Yeah. Western
Because you
countries.
can't leave Canada out if you're going to talk USA,
And then I said, I don't know any gay people who give a shit about this one. They probably don't, but it's like when we talk on the show and we talk about things, that we're not for. It's like, oh, well, you're anti this and you're anti that. And it's like, just because he doesn't want to do it, he's anti. And I think that's a wrong narrative to put on somebody, or homophobic. Let's say that one, even worse, which they like to use, and I don't think anybody's scared of any gay people. You know what I mean?
Why isn't there tens of millions of people at the gay pride parades? Because everybody supports it.
They
There's a
get a
lot of
lot of
people.
people.
They
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
lot of people, but not everybody.
Yeah,
Because
I know.
everybody is accepting it. Not
Mhm.
everybody is there because they have a choice, right? Just like that man has a choice, because it's more scrutinized, more under the scope. He's the only one. So basically, he's the Colin Kaepernick because he spoke out. Even though what he said was not harmful, insulting, he didn't point out any individual. He just said, these are my religious beliefs, and he's entitled to it. He's not saying put an end to this. Why does everybody have to do this? We know there's that community. Why don't they just do what they do in their community, and we play hockey and they play football, and and life goes on. He didn't come out and do all of that. So why is it so bad? I wish someone could explain it to me.
Well, you know why it's bad, right? Because they try to use that narrative, right?
But you and
It
I are on
seems,
the same page, Anzo. So
yeah.
your answer only gives me comfort. I need to get like a tennis answer. Somebody who can enlighten us as to why what he did is so bad.
I guess they see it as not support. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. You
It's
know what I
one
mean?
guy. What could he do? So what? That one
Well,
guy wasn't there.
well, to be honest with you, you say it's one guy, right? But we've talked about situations where like one person will make a tweet and then a bunch of people will suck onto it. Next thing you know, you have a whole fucking bunch of people tweeting the same
Nobody's
shit.
jumping on with this guy, Anzo, because you jump in, you're just
You
going in
get
that
yeah,
hole
yeah,
with
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah, yeah,
fucking,
yeah, 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 yeah.
you're
Cancel,
going right down with
cancel
him.
hole. Yeah, yeah,
This is
cancel
a
hole.
hole that we've never really experienced before. I don't know any time in life where what you could say could ruin your career. People used to fucking smoke on TV. Men used to slap women on TV. Women used to
Mm-hmm,
slap men on TV.
mm-hmm,
When's the last time you saw that?
mm-hmm. What up, Mike? What's going on?
These are things no one's asking questions about. Okay, evolution, we evolve. But why ban everything that's remotely close to freedom?
Now you're asking, I think I know I seen a movie just the other day where a woman got slapped by a man, but
Really?
yeah,
Must be a
yeah.
low budget.
Rogue Mike said, "Devil's advocate. Would you feel the same if it was a night supporting an ethnic group, and he refused?"
If that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do.
So,
If he
so that's
doesn't
the
say
question.
anything racist against me, how could I be mad? He's
So that's
never
a good.
offended me personally.
So that's a good question. Let's say Black Lives Matter T-shirts, and he don't want to wear the Black Lives Matter T-shirt
That's
on
his
there.
choice, Anzo. That's his choice.
Don't
That's
approve
just
of
me.
slapping women on TV. Okay, so Randy Line said, "Don't approve of slapping women on
Nice.
TV."
Lit the
Why?
wick. Nice. Let's go. Let's
Curious to
go.
know. Curious to know why? Because
I
again,
think
it's
you should
just a
come on in
movie,
that comment,
right?
Dandelion. I think you should come on because you can't type all that emotion. You have to come out here and say it.
I'm sure if she can, she will. That's interesting to know. But what do you think about that, Roberto?
It to me, I don't see it as abuse because I've seen women slap men for the same thing. You cross the line.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if a man just slaps a woman for no reason or because she doesn't do something for him, I don't agree with that. But if it comes to fisticuffs, a man is supposed to just stay there and get his fucking face ripped apart.
Okay,
And
so
it's a
you're not
movie. It's a movie. I'm
okay.
taking
So
it for a
that's what I'm
movie.
saying. I'm looking at what you said. In a movie is different than a newscast of some such. Okay, so we were talking about movies. I don't
Movies.
think you're right in movies. Not like
Okay. I just
a
realized. What am I
newscast.
thinking
Someone
myself?
right? Yeah, not like someone like actually fucking on a news class slapping a woman in face and it's
No,
real
no,
life.
no,
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 we're talking
no.
about
Daddy line. No,
movies.
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Because
Movies.
if that's the case, I
Let's
don't agree with that either.
neither do I.
100%.
I don't believe in a man putting his hand on a woman, but we're talking a movie for
Right,
entertainment purposes. If it's
right.
not entertaining to you, then don't watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
But for you to say because I'm watching it, I fall in a class where I'm a womanizer, I'm abusive man, I'm all of these stereotypes that want to be labeled on me because I watch a movie where a guy slaps a woman. I could
Right.
separate the two. I've never slapped a woman before. Why would I have to?
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, if it's like I said, if it's some real life shit, yeah, then no, absolutely not. But if
You
it's in a
defend
movie,
yourself.
I mean, you could watch a movie and see all kinds of shit, but then you don't want to put a man slapping a woman in a movie or vice versa. Like, why? It's a movie, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm
I don't
curious,
know.
Hanzo. When they removed cigarettes from movies and TVs, did it drop that much that people quit smoking because they weren't seeing
Absolutely
it in
not.
movies and TV?
No.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
What is your theory behind it? Like, who determines that it's bad? Because when you fucking remove cigarette branding at events, these guys lost millions and millions of dollars. Cigarettes are bad for you, but it's a choice. They don't force it on you. You
Hmm.
choose to smoke or you don't.
Hmm. Absolutely. Same thing with weed, and you know what I mean. Any kind of drugs that you use, it's a choice. You know what I
Yeah,
mean. And I
you know.
say this like people are like, oh, I think I seen somewhere. I can't remember. I think I have the topic there somewhere, but just to be somewhere, I think it was British Columbia, where they're actually legalizing cocaine. Right, you could have a certain
Oh
amount of
yeah.
cocaine or heroin, yeah, with you. And I'm like, well, if they ain't hurting nobody, you know what I mean? Like if they ain't hurting nobody, you gotta understand something, man. People's life isn't easy, and people have vices. Some may be good for you, some may be bad for you. But you taking away a person's choice to do what they want to do with their life. And I have an issue with that. So as long as you ain't hurting nobody, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, and you're just living your life, you could be hurting your own body, right? By doing drugs, but it's your body, it's your choice. If that's the life you want to live, I think you should be able to live the life you want to live. That's my opinion, as long as it doesn't affect anybody else's.
I'm looking at Ro Comments comment about the devil's advocate.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know any church that preaches racism. Do you?
No, I don't think so.
I don't see how that's the same because for him it's a religious decision. He chose not to take part in this, not because um, any other reason. So if a guy didn't take part in a Black Lives Matters, I don't see how that's religious. I don't see a church that tells people not to associate in black events because black people aren't real. I'm
So
not
that.
justifying his religion, but he's
Hmm.
saying it's a religious reason. How many times have
Oh
people
yeah.
used religious reasons to not do things and get away with it?
Hmm.
I
And then
convert
I
to
said,
Muslim, I don't go to war. Why can't I go to
Daniel,
war as a Muslim?
here, this was for you, Roberto. Then I said it made it seem cooler and more socially acceptable. Now smoking is much less popular. But did the number of smokers really go down when they did that? That's the question I think Roberto was asking. And to be honest with you, I don't think the answer is a yes.
I don't think so either. They jacked the prices to unbelievable numbers and people
And people
still
still
smoke.
buying.
You know,
Yeah.
how many people when cigarettes were $8 said when cigarettes reach 15, I'm quitting? How many people have said that? And they're fucking buying cartons to save
Yeah.
money. So,
Uh-huh.
let's
Mhm.
talk realistic and not superficial. Let's talk what really happens and not what we would like or think could happen. That's 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 what our show should be about, Anzo. Talking about shit that's real and not superficial.
Mm. And then it's like it did, and more importantly, fewer kids started smoking.
But
Um,
these kids weren't watching these movies. It wasn't like they were smoking on Tom and Jerry. Well, sometimes they did.
Sometimes they did.
Yeah, I thought I didn't think about it. They did.
Hmm.
Everything has a point, Dandelion. I'm not arguing with you that it's right or wrong, but to just take things away just like that without showing some kind of evidence as to why you're taking it away, people are going to ask questions, and if they don't, shame on them. Because where's your rights? Some people enjoy seeing that. Now they can't. Why? Who decided? And why could you
Yeah,
just decide?
I feel you. Hold on. She says she wants the link to talk about it. So let me just send it real quick.
And Daniel makes a good comment. Look how fucking vaping went.
Go ahead. What about vaping?
How crazy it is now. It's a fucking huge industry, man. People just thought it was going to be a flyby. It's evolved so much. Look at me puffing on a vape because I quit cigarettes. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't vape. I don't know.
I didn't either, Nzo. But to quit cigarettes cold turkey after a spliff, you're so used to having a cigarette, just to see me blowing out some smoke, knowing that I'm only getting 2% nicotine opposed to 22%. Whatever.
All right, Donnie, I'm going to send you the link as well. It's coming. And Dandelion pops in. Just give me a second, Dandelion. And Donnie, the link is there. Check your Twitter. Hey, Dandelion, what's up?
Hey there.
What's up, Dandelion?
Nothing much. I hate typing, and I'm trying to like do some like sketching.
I feel you.
I'm just trying to like just do some sketching, and every time
you want to type, you know,
I'm like, I gotta type shit. So.
Yeah. I remember the first, like, before I started streaming, I used to do the same thing, right? And you're watching like a streamer and they're talking about something, you want to be in the conversation, you're just typing away at everything. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
So go ahead. What are your thoughts?
My thought on the smoking, it was really geared towards preventing the next generation from being so pro smoking. Like a lot of kids these days, they're not pro smoking. Like, yeah, sure, there's always going to be some who start or whatever. And I think a lot of those are kids who are maybe from smoking households. They're already hooked on cigarettes just from like secondhand smoke. But there's like a completely different attitude towards it now, right? In general, societally, it's not. I mean, hell, we used to, I don't know, is it in Quebec, can you smoke in bars still?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, most places you can't smoke in a bar anymore. And to be honest, all the bars were worried no one would come. They all got more people because the rest of us that don't smoke are like, oh, great, I don't come home at the end of the night reeking of cigarettes. It's great.
I can't lie to you. When that law first came around, what's up, Danny? Thanks for popping in.
What's up? How you doing?
I'll just say this: before Danny, I'll let Danny talk. When that law first came out, I used to be like, "Yo, man, what are you talking about? They're gonna ban us from smoking in the club and stuff. You know, you're drinking, you want to smoke." And then when I went to my first club after the ban, I was like, "Yeah, it's better that you don't smoke."
It's a fucking choke up there.
It just feels better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you can breathe, and absolutely. What's up, Danny? What are your thoughts?
I kind of agree with what y'all saying. Like it's your body, but you know, I gotta feel a certain way because of my profession. I think the alcohol and the weed, I think are lesser evils, but the legalizing cocaine, that kind of stuff, that is crazy to me. I mean, that's just that is crazy.
Let me see if I have it here. You guys talk. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Hold on. Go ahead.
I know where I'm at. It's gonna one day. I'm not sure when, but I know they're pushing hard for it, and I don't have a problem with it if it's like it's gonna enhance or improve someone's life. If they have like cancer or some kind of disease that's gonna help. I don't have a problem with it. And like you said, I think I said in the past, I've never heard anybody overdosing from smoking weed. So I mean, I don't have an issue per se with that, but with the heavy narcotics, I have an issue with it. And then there's places here that call safe places where like law enforcement is encouraging people to come and get high in places. I don't support that at all. I
mean, Vancouver and BC have always been on the forefront of actually trying to treat addictions like a medical problem instead of a legal problem, right? And so the idea is that they only legalized really small quantities. Like you can have a small quantity on your person and you don't end up like you don't want to. The idea is that you don't want to criminalize people who are already being marginalized, right? So the idea is that these people who, I mean, you know, how many of them got hooked on freaking narcotics because they had like, you know, some back problem and the doctor gave them opioids and then pulled them off the opioids, wouldn't, you know, prescribe any more of them, but it's hard to get off that shit. And so they ended up, you know, going to like, you know, the market, you know, buying it illegally. And, you know, it just snowballs, right? You know, people end up losing their jobs, all kinds of things. So if they stop criminalizing the whole thing, it just makes it easier for people to get treatment, easier for people to not end up on the streets and getting marginalized. And it also can put them, and again, they have lots of like safe injection sites and stuff in Vancouver and that, so that, you know, they can test the drugs for you to make sure, you know, so you know what's in it before you're taking it. The idea isn't to like encourage more people to do drugs. It's to deal with the people who are already doing drugs.
Yeah, but the other side of that coin is your addiction gets so strong that you lose reason and you start burglarizing or robbing people or stealing stuff to get that next fix.
Well,
and
that's the whole thing. It helps you not get into that situation, right? Like, if people are already hooked on it, it's already a problem, right? It's not like saying you're allowed to carry 2.5 grams of, you know, methamphetamines or whatever. You can carry that on your person and the police aren't going to arrest you for it. I mean, and half the time police aren't arresting people for those small quantities anyway. There's like a very different attitude towards it here because they just understand that, you know, as soon as you've got a criminal record, you might lose your job, right? And if you're a functioning person who's just using a little, you know, a bit to like manage, there's no reason to criminalize you, right? Like, it just doesn't make sense. You know, we all know what weed's like. I've known people who've done other drugs and they don't get addicted to them, but that's not to say that everybody should be able to do whatever drugs they want. But we shouldn't be criminalizing and marginalizing people because they ended up hooked on a substance, right? Like, we got to look at like the reasons why they ended up in that situation. Were they suffering from depression? Is it how they coped with like being beaten by their, you know, one of their parents or a boyfriend or a husband, or, you know, did they like blow out their knee playing sports in high school and get hooked on opioids because that's what the doctor gave them to treat them for it, right? Like, there's a million reasons why people end up in these situations, and it doesn't make sense to make things harder for them when they're already suffering.
Yeah, I feel you.
You talking about the low end of the spectrum. The other end of that spectrum is motherfuckers breaking into people's house and shooting people, killing people. And I deal with both sides of it. The side that you're talking about, I'm very sympathetic to, and I have no problem.
Well, as I'm saying, I mean, if you're shooting people or, you know, committing crimes, you're going to get arrested for the crimes, right? But if you're making it so that it's something where, I mean, I think some doctors are even now prescribing the small quantities. They're trying to, like, the idea is to try and get people out of the illicit market, right? We stop criminalizing it, stop treating them like criminals. You know, the number of people who died from opioid deaths in Canada, obviously not in the States because you guys had a lot more COVID. We have more people dying from opioid overdoses in Canada than we had from COVID. I mean, it's a far, far worse problem. And obviously it's only affecting the people and the, you know, close family members of the people who are dying. But you have to do something. And what we've been doing is obviously not working. We're just making it worse the way we're treating it. That's all I'm saying. So, I mean, you know, we all grew up with that same like criminalized attitude to a problem that's not a criminal problem. If we don't treat people, if we don't force people into criminality, then it doesn't become a criminal problem, right?
So
Lots of people can use a small amount. Like, I mean, you know, you smoke some weed, no problem. You can still do your job. I smoke weed sometimes before I go to sleep to try and help me with my sleeping. It doesn't stop me from getting up in the morning and going to my job and being a functional human being. But we have this like division in our minds that these harder drugs don't work the same way. And for those people, it's the same thing. Most of them can still go and function on a day-to-day basis. They have jobs, they can pay their bills. It isn't a problem until they get caught with it, get thrown in prison, lose their job, lose their house, lose their families. Then they end up on the streets. Then they end up in these much worse situations.
Yeah, I've known a few functioning crackheads. You know what I mean? Like, they can smoke crack, and like I've seen him buy crack from my boy, but he was always getting up every day, going to work, doing his job, right? And I'll tell you this, right? And I know it's because it blew my mind, right? So the neighborhood crackheads would always come to my dad, right? If they had VCR, if they had TVs, if they had meat, they would all, the first person they would check is my dad. You know what I mean? So one
Yeah.
day, one of them came up and knocked on the door and asked my dad to borrow $20. And my dad said, "Okay, sure, no problem." I was like, "Dad, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you giving this crackhead money for?" My dad's like, "It's only $20. If they never pay me back, we'll never get it again." The next week, they came back and paid my dad the $20, bro. I couldn't believe it. And then anytime they came and asked, my dad felt no way to give it to them because he knew we'd get it back. And they paid him back every single time they borrowed money from him.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I read this book called High Time a few years ago, and it's written by he's a physicist, but he's a black guy, and he grew up in, I don't know, Florida or somewhere like that. But it's a really good book. I highly recommend it. But he talks a lot about the attitudes towards, I mean, the book is great. It talks about like drugs and drug addiction, but it also talks about like race and race relations. And I found it super interesting. I read it years ago now, but yeah, it talks a lot about like, most people doing drugs, you're still going to like, they can still function. Like we've segregated this idea that, alcohol is fine. There's probably way more people who drink that are like not functioning well than there are people, because we end up criminalizing people who are doing drugs, and that's where the problems come from, right? Like, to be honest, you ever remember that old show Cops? What was that? 90% cops babysitting drunk people?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
So
90% of the time it was like somebody had too much to drink and they're like threatening a spouse or trying to break in somewhere or just do some stupid shit. To be honest, alcohol is a way bigger problem than any of these other drugs. I'm sure Danny can vouch for that. Right?
I don't know.
Probably encounter a lot of people who are problem drinkers as much as anything else.
I don't think it was criminalization because I know what's a crime, what's not, and you don't do it. If you do it, whatever reason is that you're talking about, like far as getting an injury or the doctor prescribe it, I'm more sympathetic to that end of the spectrum. But some of these people go out there, party, get hooked, like it, and try to get that next high till it gets out of control. You try intervention, you try to put these places, and they still don't do it. And they do the most crazy and most insane stuff that you can think of, which I see every day. I don't have sympathy for those people. The ones that try there to go there, that we send to these treatments, they go through it and they try to actually work and correct their lives and make it better and beat the addiction. I'm all for helping them. But there's some I just don't, that I know. I've been doing 27 years and they rotten to the core. They worrying about that next fix, and they don't care if they have to steal from you, lie, cheat, do whatever they got to do to get that fix.
No,
And
absolutely. You still have to start asking, why do they need that? Like, what's missing from their life that's what's required for them to function, for them to feel like they're alive, for them to that's how they want to live their life, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely more going on than just.
What do you think the solution would be, Danny? What do you think would be the best solution?
It's a devil's advocate. I mean, because this person let's say for instance he's a football player or sports or whatever athlete he is, and he or she gets addicted on that, and then their life is a downward spiral. But they go and they steal something from Roberto, or they hurt Roberto's child or wife or something, trying to get that, not intentionally, but trying to get whatever property they can. I mean, I'm supposed to feel sympathetic for an individual, and Roberto's hardworking, innocent, minding his business, but this guy, because he or she's on his addiction, broke into his house, possibly hurt him, possibly shoot him. We done seen all that stuff before. So I don't have sympathy if the addiction drives someone to do a crime, and the crime is something that someone who's innocent, that is hardworking, doesn't have the addiction, or is functioning, and a functioning addictive person. I just don't have that sympathy. Maybe because I've been doing it for so long, I've grown cold and callous, I guess you can say, is the correct word. But I just don't. I'm here to protect and serve everybody, but I'm here to protect and serve people more that's trying to do what's right, what's trying to be good, trying to abide. And for those that choose whether it's an addiction or not, to go out there and do that crime, then it's my job to check them. So that's
No, and I agree with you. I wouldn't have sympathy for that either. 100%. I can completely understand where you're coming from. I'm just saying, like, what do you think a solution would be? Like, how do you think we could help those people?
Well, I think we're not ever gonna be able to help them because the government got their hand in this shit. I don't have proof to it, but I strongly believe that these politicians, these high-ranking officials, are getting their cut from these cartels and whatever, and they're not going to keep that money. They're not going to stop that money from flowing. They're not going to build that wall to keep people from.
Well, no, but they want, they want to be, they want to need more money for this or for that. Yeah, they want more money for like border security or more money for, the war on drugs, right? Like that's the whole thing, right? There's so much money in keeping it criminalized, right? I mean, especially in the States, don't your prisons basically they're
overrun,
enslaved work prisons, basically.
Yep.
Right? People get paid a pittance to do work nobody else wants to do, like those guys going out fighting forest fires, that kind of thing, right? The industry or the way that the society's set up, it demands a certain number of criminalized people. So you got to look at who's actually benefiting from these people, suffering.
The criminals are a part of the machine.
Yep.
If you stop that machine, it's going to mess up everything else. So whether it's bad to say, but criminals are needed in society to make society the whole wheel and stuff turn. And it's crazy to say. I would love for us to get like Star Trek or Star Wars where you ain't gonna worry about that kind of stuff. We're not gonna see that in our lifetime. I don't think my kids gonna see it in their lifetime. Because it's just too much money to be made, and it's crazy.
Isn't it like? Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be but I heard at one point when they're talking about the war on drugs, that the war on drugs was actually funded by some of these drug cartels and stuff like that, coming in there giving politicians money and stuff. You know
That's
what I mean?
a statistic I was reading. Like these places, maybe not in Canada. I don't know. I don't read any kind of statistics from Canada. But I know over here in the United States that most of these places that legalize drugs, the cartel comes in and takes over, and the crime rate it spikes. I'm not sure how much it spikes, so that's why I live in the Bible Belt of the United States, and I mean they're fighting it tooth and nail. I mean I think maybe 4 years ago, same-sex marriage was legalized, and I mean they fought that forever. So there are still people, I guess baby boomers that still in the halls of power trying to fight it, but sooner or later they're gonna die out, and all this stuff is gonna come. I don't know how to fix it. Like I said, it's very what's the word I want to use? Being on this side of law enforcement versus y'all side, it can make you very cynical, and you'd be like, because you see so much bad stuff, and it's hard sometimes to differentiate when someone's really need a hand up and stuff. You try to get in the bed for the doubt, but sometimes you get burned so much. In my profession, when we try to help people, that's a lot of times when we get in trouble.
Yeah.
But when we do it by the book, then that's where we protect ourselves. Most times it's not. When we do stuff by the book, these body cameras, we go back and we see that we went A, B, C, D, D, F, G, all the way to Z, we're safe. But when sometimes if we skip C, get the D, and D to get the G and that kind of stuff, and that's when these defense attorneys or the media stuff. So sometimes it's bad to say, but it's kind of, you put yourself in harm's way when you try to help somebody or go the extra mile because they're trying to twist it or something. Or you're just trying to help Dandyland because she's a woman and she's an attractive woman, blah, blah, blah. Or you're just trying to help Roberto because he got money. Or you're just trying to help Nzo because he got such. It's crazy. So,
what do you think, Roberto?
You know how I feel about drugs already.
Yeah, you're smoking whenever you can.
I need my fix. I need my fix.
Well, look at all the crazy shit that they were panicking about before they legalized weed here in Canada. They were like, oh, we need rules for this and we need rules for that and this. And what happened? Freaking nothing. And you knew nothing was going to happen because everybody who wanted to smoke weed was already smoking.
I do
think if they legalize it, they should tax the hell out of it like they do alcohol.
Well, they did to a degree, but they had to like be careful with that because you could just buy it from your usual dealer.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Danny, right? And I was gonna say, yeah, they can tax it. They tried to tax it here, right? But okay, so you're going to the SCDQ or whatever it's called, SDCQ, whichever the letters are, to go get your weed, right? You're buying a 3.5, it's $25 plus taxes, but then you're going to your dealer and you're getting it for $20. You know what I mean?
No tax.
But ain't no cigarette dealer. They tax the cigarettes and liquor.
They do.
Because they've been legal for so much longer that there wasn't and you can get like illegal cigarettes here, right? People go onto the reservations and buy their cigarettes.
We call them onesies, but we don't have no problem. Nobody buying no.
Now,
what we have problem is
they're nasty.
Somebody live in New York or somewhere.
You're smoking wood chips.
They come down here where the cigarettes are cheaper.
Right.
Take them there and try to sell them. They'll bust your ass on that shit.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, they bust you here too because a lot of people go to the reserve. They would go buy. Danny, you would see it was like 100 cigarettes. It's this big pack of cigarettes, man, and you'd get that for like $6.
Wow.
But I believe that those cigarettes are what gave my mom cancer. 100%.
Well,
I believe.
I mean, cigarettes in general.
It could be any cigarettes. It's probably not just those ones.
Right.
Yeah, but
no, I agree.
There's
but
no study done on these cigarettes. I'm sure if there was, people would be saying, "How could they get away with putting that stuff in there?"
Yeah,
because I'm telling you, if you smoke weed,
does your mom smoke
tobacco?
Newports? No. We don't have Newports up here.
There's an international black cigarettes of all black people up here.
Like I'm on the highway, I keep getting cut off.
I'm sorry.
I was just having a weed moment, because you put a little tobacco in your weed. If you ever use one of their cigarettes, your weed is going to taste very different, and you're going to be wondering what the hell you put in there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fucking roll a joint to save my life. I bought myself
a question. I feel new to this
roll.
now. Because I'm seeing all you guys have this little white caption under your names.
Go to the where it says there's a square below all of us that has you in it, and there's 3 little dots.
Yeah, click
on the 3 little dots, and it says edit name and headline.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you guys! Was this an upgraded shit?
Yeah, because I couldn't find it, and then when it was coming on the stream today, I was looking. I said, "Oh, I had to turn it on. That's why." And then I turned it on.
So how come Danny ain't busting your shit?
What do you mean?
I see #1 cop hater under yours.
I don't see that.
What the fuck? If I had that on mine, I know you see Roberto in that whole commentary. Roberto.
You put mine up when I was on a Jackbox stream.
Roberto, you done had that on about damn 5 days now. I know you
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm looking at that same way.
Because I had Mike Tomlin.
Yeah. Yeah. So I put it #1 commentator.
I feel you guys.
Oh shit. But man, I think I you see again, I'm in the situation where I think that unless they're not hurting each other, like if you're not hurting anybody, then I think if you want to smoke fucking crack, then you should be able to smoke crack. Like you should be able to do what you want to do with your life as long as you ain't hurting nobody.
Maybe if you're single, but if you're doing that and you're a parent or you someone in
that's true too. That's true too.
Because children tend to emulate what their parents or their guardians do. So I don't necessarily agree with that. Like, if you're single,
yeah, right. I agree with you 100%. And I think even if you do have kids and you're doing it, you have to do it to where like they don't know, like they have no clue that you're on this thing, right?
I never heard of it. That's gonna be hard, man. You smoking crack, and I mean, you gonna do it when they sleep? I mean, I've never seen a functioning crackhead. Like they all fucked up and stuff. Now, alcoholics and like weed smokers, all the time. But like, and I guess I've seen some cocaine, but you can tell when they had that snort, they look all fool.
Yeah,
eyes are bloodshot. But you can tell when somebody ain't quite right.
So would you say the same thing about alcohol, like an alcoholic though, Danny? right? Because you're saying if you're smoking crack, you don't want to be in front of a kid. But would you say you wouldn't want to see an alcoholic either? You know, with kids.
Um, I was in the house with, I don't think it was alcohol, but my uncle, he got really drunk on the weekends and stuff. That really kind of made me like, I don't want to do that because he was just, um, I mean, I don't have a problem with anybody drinking, but um, DUIs that really pisses me off. But whenever I
Yeah.
caught somebody drinking and driving, they went to jail unless
Mhm.
it was unless they passed the field sobriety, and then but they would not get behind that wheel. I say, okay, you call somebody, you got 30 minutes for somebody to come here. If not, I'm going to tow your vehicle, and if you stay somewhere close, I will get you home. But
Mhm.
I have no sympathy for DUIs.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Oh, 100%, because that's what hit Lunga, right? I went
Right?
on Twitter and I seen he had this neck brace on
Yeah, I
and shit.
saw
And I was
that.
like, holy fuck, what happened to Lunga? You
Yeah,
know, and he said he's okay, but that's
that
the
could have
thing.
that
Yeah,
could have been no longer. So
absolutely,
I don't,
100%.
I have zero sympathy for those.
I
But
agree.
now
I
it's
agree
so
with
No,
you
crazy,
100%.
I'm there.
man.
I'm with you on that one.
There was a
Mhm.
time when you got to read on your rights 3 times, or you got to do this. And see what's really crazy? I'm gonna tell you how crazy. We got something here called a provisional driver's license. So basically, I stop you, Anzo. You blow 0.32. That's
Mhm.
way over limit because the legal limit here is 0.08.
Right.
I take you, you blow, I arrest you, your license suspended. Next day, you can go and apply for a provisional driver's license. That provisional driver's license give you the privilege to drive to and from work. What sense does that make? Well, that
Because you,
to me that's crazy. But they're saying that okay, you gotta help this person. You can't cut off their livelihood. Okay, you made a conscious decision.
Hmm.
You went to the bar, you went to the party or somebody's house, and you could have potentially killed somebody. But then I'm gonna the next day I'm gonna kind of slap you in the wrist. Only difference between a regular license and provisional license. Provisional license is yellow up top,
Mhm.
and where I live at is red. A regular license is red. CDLs is blue. But you see that yellow license, you know that it's DUI, and I don't agree with some of the laws. I have to enforce it, but I don't agree with some of the laws.
you see, I wouldn't agree with that either at one point because how do you know if they're really going to work? Yeah, like is it a time limit on the license, or you know
It's,
what I mean? So hey, I'm going to
that's what
work
it's
I
midnight.
work
You know what
night
I mean?
shift.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Now what
you,
are you gonna
I
say?
guess if you just catch them and you, I guess develop a pattern, but then they'll be saying, well, he's profiling me. He does, we have to, and we should be able to say, we have to go by a set of rules, but the crooks don't. And then if they do something crazy, we have to make sure it's A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Because if we skip, you do A, but skip B and C, then some $200 an hour defense attorney come in there. Oh, you didn't do such and such, da, da, da. And
And
then
get them off.
so it's sometimes it's frustrating. It is very frustrating, especially we know the individuals are guilty, but loopholes and laws that are developed for them, and that's kind of so. I mean, it's crazy.
Do you find more people get off today, Danny, than say 20 years ago?
Oh, DUI, yes,
Jeez,
Really,
yes.
that's not cool.
DUI is almost a joke now.
really.
Really?
Mad is not as strong as it used to be. Mad
Yeah,
is
it's like
really
it's
strong.
played out, man. Huh? They gotta add some letters on that shit, maybe.
Because things are so. I mean,
Matter.
okay, you function on DUI, but now what's the big well, over here? Big thing for us now is inflation. As
Hmm.
far as groceries going up, that people
Yeah.
are going are losing their mind now over
Hmm.
groceries. So that the bigger problem kind of outshadows the smaller problem because okay, and then people give you an excuse. Oh, because life is so hard now, and I ain't got money. Okay, you ain't got money to buy that steak or eggs, whatever you're gonna buy, but you got money to go buy that 40 and
To
that kind of
drink. Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's just
And you know what's funny on top of that, Danny? Now that you brought that topic on, right? Um, I was seeing like this little post. I found people were stealing because you know they have the self checkout. So people were stealing from Walmart at an astonishing rate, right?
mhm.
But not what Walmart end up doing is if you stole over a certain amount, they would send cops to your house.
I've never seen that here. You don't have the
They're
manpower to
sending,
do that.
they're sending cops to your house, right? And it's like, okay, well, how do you know, right? Well, if you use
Camera.
your debit card, the camera, right? And if you use it, because if you go, I don't know about your Walmarts here, but if you go to our Walmarts here to self checkout, as soon as you get to it, there's this camera, boom, right on your
Mhm.
face. You can see your face, right?
And they gotta
Then
have
you're
some
using,
cameras outside too. You can
yes,
walk.
to get your driver's light, to get your car
Mhm.
license in case they do have to find you.
Yeah.
So they're saying a lot of people are getting cops knocked on their door because they were stealing from Walmart.
I don't think we got the manpower to do that. And we got 4 where I live at.
Okay, for
One
Walmarts.
one big one and then 3 neighborhood Walmarts.
Shit, I couldn't even count
What's a
how many
neighborhood
Walmarts
Walmart?
we have.
Neighborhood
What's a
Walmart is like a smaller version of Walmart, and it's more grocery.
Oh yeah,
We
don't have that here.
What up, K-Dot?
Yeah, we got we got Super Walmarts. That's like a big warehouse. Then we got Sam's Club. Sam's Club is like the big Walmart. They sell everything in bulk. You don't get like one.
That's like Costco,
paper
no?
towel.
Like
Yeah,
Costco, yeah.
Costco and Sam's are like brother and sister.
Okay.
Then Super Walmarts are the main Walmarts, and then now they got something called neighborhood Walmarts, and they're more like grocery stores.
I saw this thing that in the UK now they have these self-checkout Walmart, not Walmart, Amazon grocery stores.
With the palm of your hand.
I never seen
No,
that.
you scan your app, and it charges your credit card when you walk out.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't steal anything because it got you when you leave.
Yeah. And I seen one where you can pay. You go to the machine, you punch in your card, and you put your handprint on it, and then you can pay with the palm of your hand.
Oh, I haven't seen
Jeez.
it. You got this one store, I think it's called Aldi's. You got to pay like $1 to get the buggy. You got a little slot. You got to push the cord in. And then when
You don't
go
get your
in
quarter
there,
back when you're done?
when you get it back, you
Okay.
get it back.
Yeah, we got
But
lots
then-
of those here.
Yeah.
But then they have no bags in there. You got to bring your own
Mhm.
bags. I hate that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a given here.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I've been bringing my own bags for years. I hate cutting all those plastic bags everywhere. Like, what the hell
How
are
you
you going to do with
supposed
all
to
those?
pick dog shit up?
Hey, Roberto, I mean, Danny, I'm with you. I hate the fucking no bag shit, right?
You
and
got
then
to buy them. Well, I'm
you
gonna buy
gotta
'em.
pay for a bag. Yeah.
You got all kinds of bags in your house. You know how many of these bags I got now?
Yeah, man. But
I
that's,
just
And
have
then
a
I
couple
forget
that
to
are
pick 'em
really
up when I go
small.
shopping,
They
end up
fold
buying
up all
more.
tiny, and I just keep them in my purse.
I don't like that, man. Bag
Doesn't
shit
bother
up.
me.
That's what I'm
Wait
saying.
till people
You
start
shouldn't have
throwing
to
those
pay for-
bags away. Watch what's gonna happen.
And you know what's funny, right? When they first started making you pay for bags, it was like 5 cents for a bag.
Yeah.
Now they
Like
charging
50
like
cents.
40 to 50 cents for a
Yeah, yeah.
fucking bag. And some of the ones we have here are the fucking those paper bags. Those they have a handle now
Those
though, but those
bags
little
like
fucking
break halfway to your car.
yeah.
So, I remember lunch used to be like $5.
Mhm.
You go to lunch. Me and my wife and my 2 daughters and my grandsons went to this place. It's called Arizona Steakhouse. So I look on the menu because y'all know I'm not super cheap. And it's like lobster Alfredo. I said, yeah, that sounds pretty good. And I look, and it's like $21. I said, yeah, I can get that. Man, when they got the bill, it was me. I paid for me and my wife. It was $89. And I was
I
like,
know, bro.
break this shit down because I know man, they charge like a sales tax, a
Yep.
hospitality tax.
Did you get the
yeah,
gratuity
you get-
tip?
If you got 6 people, it was 20-cent gratuity.
Mhm.
And I got a problem with that because if you ain't give me good service just because I got a
This
high
is it.
number of people, I got to pay for
100%.
something. I don't
And
like
they
it.
hire the worst waitresses and waiters, those places with the gratuity tip. You can't even take it out. I said, oh, and you think you're getting 15%? Oh,
You know what I
just wait.
mean?
You just stand there and wait because you're gonna see you ain't getting shit.
And now these-
Exactly.
You gotta
Now these
earn that tip,
restaurants,
yo.
if you call in, they're wanting a tip too. If I call in, I'm burning my gas to go get it. So I'm gonna give you a tip just because you hand the food to me. No,
Mhm.
no.
Mhm.
They have that on all debit card purchases. They
Yep.
kind of make you feel guilty. They
Oh, I know.
15%.
If I'm
For
just
what?
going,
You just
if I'm
handed
just
me
going
my
to buy
bag.
one thing and it's not like all they had to do was like hand it to me, no, I'm not tipping.
But
Me
you know
There's
neither.
what?
always a way out of that
They
tip.
dedicated some sympathy because they're telling you that their salary is so low that they're so dependent on that tip, and they make me feel guilty sometimes because I know how the fuck are they surviving on $15 an hour?
Hey, my
Yeah.
thing is, nobody
How?
made you take that job. I'm not taking a
Yeah.
job where I'm depending on somebody else's generosity. That shit.
Yeah.
Facts.
But at the
Facts.
same time, Danny, you got to give that service. If you know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
if I'm nice to you, I can get 20% of that bill, man, you're gonna see my molars. I'll be smiling so
Oh,
hard.
absolutely.
I'll
If
be
You know
giving
what
you
I'm
the
saying?
best service you ever had
Word
every
up,
fucking
if
night.
you're good, and one thing that if I suck on my straw, and I hear the ice at the bottom, no, that's taking about 2 or 3% off your tip because my gas,
Oh shit, you're hard, Daddy.
my glass should
You're
never
hard,
get empty.
boy.
I should never get empty.
See, if
I
you don't
said I
come
don't
and
take a
ask me if
takeout.
I
Me
need any
neither.
napkins or if I need water or if everything's okay, you just lost some percentage points right there.
Oh, for sure. But
I
if
usually
you're
leave a
on
small
point,
tip on takeout. Like I'll leave something.
You got to give
uh,
something,
I
but you
no.
got to let them know that your service ain't all that.
No, if I'm sitting there, if I go to a restaurant and stuff like
Of
that,
course,
yes.
sitting.
But
I'm talking only sitting.
I'm talking takeout. If I go to, like, let's say, because today, okay, so today I'm walking home from work, and there was this guy outside, and he asked me for a cigarette. I'm like, nah, it's not a cigarette. I lit up a spliff, right? So as I'm walking away, he's like, oh, there's the fish and chip place is there, and I was like, yeah, and he was like, can you help me out, right? And at first I was like, nah. And I kept walking. And then I walked back and I said, okay, you know what? Let me go buy this guy a meal, right? He didn't ask me for money. He asked me for food. So he probably really hungry. So I went back and I bought him food. And when they gave me the thing, you seen the little 15% tip there. And I was like, why? You guys are just making the food, which is what you're going to do anyways. Why do you need a tip? So I clicked no tip, paid for the food, felt no way about it. No way.
That's the only thing that gets me, man. When somebody say like they hungry, or I see them signs on the side of the road, I'll be like, oh God, I can't hardly pass by. Because one of my jobs, man, I went to sign this husband and wife up, and they were living in the truck. And when I got done signing them up, they was like, "Sir, I don't mean to bother you, man, but we ain't ate in like 3 days." I was like, "Oh my God!" He said, "Could you give us some gas?" I didn't fill it up. I get half a tank of gas. I went inside. I bought enough food to last 4 or 5 meals, water. My heart just can't. When somebody hungry, oh God.
Yeah. And the dude was like, it was no more than 25. You know what I mean? Then I'm like, I know you can, like you're capable of going out and working, whatever. But again, I don't know your circumstances, but I know at this moment right now, you hungry. So I said, all right, let me go back and buy him a plate of food.
They say here in America, I don't know about Canada, that the average family is 2 paychecks from being homeless.
Danny,
It's getting worse.
On a bench with their kids.
Two
That just
missed
tore me up.
paychecks.
I gave them money, and I'm not like I really feel people out before I give them money.
Yeah,
Call
me
it a
too.
gift or whatever, but I feel them out, and man, I felt like giving them even more. Like me and my wife were like, I've never seen that.
It's rough over here. Like your daughter said, like in San Francisco, she ain't lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, like I mean, even it's a few years since I've been in the States, but yeah, the some of the like circumstances that like people it's acceptable for people to live in, like even in Michigan, when I was driving through Michigan and you're like, driving on the highway and you see some like super like rank looking shanty that like homeless people in Canada wouldn't even live in, and it's like somebody's house. Like the poverty in the States like is totally different than
absolutely.
poverty in Canada. Like I mean, it's got worse now, and especially out here because we don't get so cold. So a lot of people who end up on the streets because you can almost survive here in a tent all year. Like there's nights when it's super cold, but if it's not too rainy of a year, you can kind of manage.
Who is Dwight Schrute? Never heard
here. Who's that? Oh, I don't know either. But Mike said, "Why tip someone for a job I'm capable of doing myself?" Dwight Schrute, the GOAT. I don't know who it is, but yeah, I agree with you. But I was also gonna say that here, like,
you never watched The Office, Nzo?
The show The Office? No, I've never seen it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dwight is like the asshole of The Office.
I got you.
What do you feel about delivery drivers, Nzo?
It depends. You know what I mean? It depends. I don't feel a way. Sometimes I give them tip. But the thing about it now, right? We ordered Chinese food just the other day. That shit cost $74.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, but I don't want to give a 15% tip after I just spent 74 fucking
What the
dollars
hell
for
y'all had? You
two
must be
people
have
to eat.
Peking duck. Oh, God.
Man, General Tao, chicken fried rice, beef and vegetables, and sesame seed beef. That's
I
it.
can
Sometimes for things like that, like a delivery driver, you just tip him like a standard amount. But you
Yeah.
know what? If it's one of those Uber driver thing or like Uber Eats or something, apparently if you have a bigger tip in there, you're more likely to get your food fast.
Faster.
Yeah, Mike. I'm here to tell you, for that kind of money, she better lick the plate. Everything else, there better not be not a sesame seed left on that sucker. $74.
That wasn't the only thing. I think a couple weeks ago was souvlaki's, $60. You know what I mean? Like prices for this stuff is going up. I don't want to eat out anymore. Yeah, I don't
minimum
want to eat
$20
out
a
anymore.
plate. Like you can't get a burger and fries
Facts.
for minimum $17.
Facts.
Go to McDonald's. I pick up my mom every now and then. I pick her up a 6-piece, and I say, you know what? I shouldn't be eating this shit, but you know what? Give me a McDouble. $22. Did somebody else order on my bill? What the fuck?
Y'all ain't got no McDonald's app on y'all phone?
Yeah, we got
it, but I refuse to get it.
Shit,
I don't
man,
eat there that much.
That's, hey, 20%, sometimes 30% on the price, man. I use it all the time. 30%.
You see,
there more, Danny.
You see, that's the thing. If you get that little discount off of there, then yes, absolutely. But to order from like Uber Eats or those apps, man, if you're not getting a discount, it's not fucking worth it, man. Because I know that restaurant, when I ordered Chinese, if I had used the app, it would have cost me over $100.
Wow.
Well, and also the restaurant doesn't get as much money. Like they're losing money off like Uber Eats and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably. But it's expensive.
Yeah.
And you know what's killing it too, right? Like, I think to go fill up my fridge is double before the COVID. You know what I mean? Like I could fill up my fridge maybe 100 something, close to 100. Now it's like almost $200 to fill up my fridge. It's ridiculous. $20 for a T-bone steak for one.
Yeah, we get two here for $18.
A steak in a minute, bro. You know what I mean? I ain't had a T-bone in a minute because I can't do it. I'm like, we used to be able to get two for like 20. You know what I mean? Two T-bones.
But I look at the steak this way though. You buy a $20 steak. I'm not eating the whole steak.
What?
I'm putting that into pieces because what the hell am I going to eat that much steak for? That's an insane amount of meat. Like a portion is like the size of your palm, man. You don't have to eat like a freaking 20-ounce steak. Chop it into 4. Then you're only paying $5 for a steak.
Right, but that's the thing, Dandelion. They're not those big ass steaks. They're just a regular old T-bone that they want to charge $20 fucking for.
Go to the butcher.
I would probably still make 2 meals out of it.
$25 steak is double the size of that steak you're buying at the grocery store.
You're a lean cheetah. I'm on Kodiak. I got the hell.
Dude, I am in no way lean. I am almost 200 pounds these days.
So this is how I do it. If you look, I'm a carnivore. I love steak, right? If I go to a restaurant and have a steak, even if I look for their cheapest cut, it's minimum $45.
Wow.
Yeah,
minimum $45
at home.
Yeah.
So if I go and spend $25 at the butcher for a thick ass fucking T-bone, I deserve it. That's how I look at it. That's the only way that gives me kind of
the cheapest cut steak
relief.
Is sirloin. So he's selling sirloin for like $40
in a restaurant. Go check it out, Danny. I'm telling you, there's not a place that me and my wife have gone to eat just to scratch the drinks. We've never paid less than $100.
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
and if you order
drinks on top of it, yeah.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. You know
that restaurant better be fucking good, because man, I'm just bashing restaurant after restaurant on Google. Ain't worth the money. Ain't worth the money. Ain't worth the money.
I'm at the point where I just like, is it even worth eating out anymore?
But you know
I
what,
mean?
Onzo? When you go to the grocery store and you're buying essentials and they cost you
Yeah, yeah.
fucking 130,
Yeah, yeah.
140 bucks for one bag, I think
Yeah.
eating out is almost cheaper. Because I eat that processed food, it's holding me much longer. I gotta cook that steak, warm it up, I gotta spend at least an hour and a half of my time, and then after there's no leftovers. That one steak cost me maybe 2 fucking meals at A&W.
Yeah, it depends on where you go.
Now you're
It
doing the
depends on where you
math.
go.
You're
Yeah.
doing the math,
Yeah,
man.
it
Because
depends on
fuck,
where you go. If you're talking A&W, but if you're talking like you want to go out and actually have a steak, you know what I mean? Or you want to have like,
I'll buy a pepperoni and steak sub.
yeah.
You know, also it's ridiculous because I don't go to clubs. So for
Mhm.
me and the wife, it was restaurants, that kind of like restaurant lounge, you know, to play nice
Yeah, yeah.
music,
Yeah, yeah.
jazz, whatever, and you get a good meal. Now I'm finding that the portions are getting smaller, the prices are
Yes.
getting higher, and the quality is slowly disappearing. And like you could say anything, only
Mhm.
thing you could do is not fucking go.
Yeah.
And then what? You're spending
And
$300 on groceries.
and sometimes it's fun just to get out there and do stuff, right?
Yeah,
But you also know that if you're doing that, you're gonna be spending like a crazy amount of money. You know what I
it's
mean?
really gonna be limited because when you do the math, like if you say a whole month, you go out once a week for a month, you're talking $1,000 almost, man.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You know, that's
For sure.
ridiculous. That's
why I
a
stopped
fucking vacation.
That's why I stopped eating like fast food years ago. It's always disappointing. I like don't eat out very often, but when I do, I always go someplace that's like I know has good food, and if I
But
have
it's
to
so
pay a little
expensive,
more, I
Dandelion.
don't do it that often.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like
That's
you're
why.
almost like it's your birthday kind of meal.
Well, that
you know?
is one advantage to living out in BC. Food is a little cheaper out here because it doesn't have to travel as far.
Right.
Like a lot of it comes from California and Mexico, and it's not a very long journey. So we usually
For
pretty
me-
good produce here. But I mean, I don't eat processed food or anything like that anyway. I make all my own food, so
It's all bullshit because, like I said, they used the gas hike, they used COVID, they used all these reasons to fucking raise the prices.
oh
But
yeah,
then
no,
when
it was
COVID
totally all a
disappears
scam.
and the price of gas comes down, those
It's
prices
gouging.
don't come down.
No, it's
So how
it's
does
price
that
gouging.
justify? Of
It's
course,
completely price gouging.
of course, and
If
like they didn't make enough money off of COVID.
If it was just necessity and costs had gone up, then all those corporations wouldn't be making like hand over fist profits. They're making so
Facts.
many profits because
And
they're
they're
taking
laying off
advantage
their
of inflation.
employees.
They take advantage of inflation to like jack prices up even more.
Yep.
And
And
how did they justify laying off hundreds of people
Oh,
when they're
that's
fucking recording record
well,
profits?
and again, there's lots of other like it's only some industries that are laying people off.
The big ones, the big
Yeah.
ones. How do you
But
justify it
there's
when you
lots
have
of
these record
there's so
profits?
many jobs out there right now. Like maybe not that same job, but there's a huge shortage of like people to work right now.
If you're not making $25 an hour, you're living a sad life. At least here. I don't know how you're
I'd like to
you're
be
you're
making
paying
more
your
than
rent, buying groceries, paying your phone. If it's a bus pass because you don't own a car, if you have a car, you have your insurance, gas. Everything has gone up, but nothing in the form of income has gone up. You work more jobs, you get taxed harder. It's just, when does it end?
I think $15 an hour you can, depending on how your lifestyle is, right?
I'd like
know
to
what I
hear
mean?
that person, where they live, how much they spend on groceries. Do
Yeah.
they own a cell phone?
But like I was gonna say earlier, it's like at this point, like you need to have a roommate. Like if you want to live properly, you know what I mean? If you're making that type of money, you can't live by yourself. You're gonna
I spoke to someone who's paying $300 or $250 a month for a bedroom.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
My rent,
they're
what is it?
Terrified of their roommates.
Mine's $15.50 a month, but it's got like utilities included. for my
Okay,
little,
yeah, yeah.
my
What
little
did
place.
that go for 15 years ago, Dandelion?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Out here, it was probably would have still been
BC
like
is
800
always up there
bucks.
as far as we heard. BC is like Toronto.
With
Yeah.
the prices, yeah, pretty much.
But I'm not in Vancouver. I'm like up in the out in the Fraser Valley. So rents have definitely gone up in the last little while because I like this place, but there's like a weird noise, so I can't sleep at night. There's a turkey farm like not too far away, and like the floor vibrates just slightly, which keeps me awake. Like most people don't even notice it. Apparently only 15% of people even notice this weird vibration.
But the boom weed makes up for it.
But
You guys got
Yeah,
some
you guys got
fucking weed over there.
yeah,
That's all I
can't
can
lie.
tell you.
yeah,
BC weed is the good.
there's not enough weed for that. But yeah,
Oh man.
See, when we have no topics, how long the show goes?
Yeah, I know, eh?
That's the way the show originally started on. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, we had some kind of topics a little bit.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, well, you know what I'm talking about, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is what it is. You know, it was a good show. I was just waiting for Danny to come back so that we could close it up. So I'll wait for him to come
Looks
back.
like a bathroom stop there, man.
them things hit him where it's like, oh, my stomach's growling. I gotta go take a shit. So I had one more I wanted to.
Here, I should show you guys the picture I've been working on while we're here.
Yeah.
Just a second. There we go. I can't get it to in the right spot. Sorry, I'm all scruffy looking from work. So
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
yeah, it's
explain to them how you're doing it.
Okay, so what I do is I do a bunch of like watercolory blobs on the paper first, and then I just put the ink on afterwards. So it's like a reverse coloring book. I start with the color and then I add the lines afterwards.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wicked.
So,
and
yeah.
Here's one I wanted to discuss. What do you think about this, Roberto? And this is in Ottawa. So theaters in Ottawa sparks outrage after announcing Black-only audience policy.
What? What? Is this for real?
Hey, from what I hear, I don't know. I just seen it there, and I thought it'd be something good to talk about.
Ottawa.
Usually, this real Toronto, they on point with their shit. So,
Ottawa.
Yeah.
This is when they get balls. What the hell? Yo, that's shocking. That's fire right there, yo.
Do you have an issue with that?
I think that's just gonna spark problems. Like, if we don't want, how would it be if a fucking cinema said only white people can come to this
People
theater?
allowed, right?
That's you know how I feel about those things. I'm righteous on so. I know some brothers be saying, damn right. And you're entitled to your opinion. Me personally, I think that just shifts the other way. That's
I agree.
a negative more so than a positive. Why would you do that?
I assume they're trying to make a statement of some kind.
It's a bad statement. Let's see what our American compadre thinks about what we're doing over here in Canada.
Yeah, Danny, I had this one was real quick before we closed it up, but it was a theater in Ottawa sparks outrage after announcing Black-only audience policy.
That's crazy.
You see how black people are? We're fucking righteous. You see that? All the same answers. All
Black only? What kind of show was it?
I'm wondering
I don't
too,
know.
Danny. Like there's a secret.
Maybe it was Wakanda Forever.
Now I know where the song came from.
Why we want people to understand us, not
Right.
try to see, they're doing that secret stuff. Let's shoot them up. No, motherfucker, we doing the same thing y'all doing. We just come see for yourself.
Yeah.
And like Roberto said, like let's say one of your theaters, you went there and it said whites only.
No.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? People
what the hell are you talking about white only? Shit. I'm telling you at my job, man. I almost lost it. I go get my car worked on, my patrol car.
Mhm.
I just had bought me and my son-in-law bought a boat. And I was telling him about it. And this mechanic says, what a black man do with a pontoon? Boy, when he said that, hey, it was almost I almost lost my job. Motherfucker, last time I
When did
checked,
this
money is
fucking
green. It
shit
ain't
happen?
fucking black or white, it's green.
I can't
That's
understand how people got some cojones on them, boy.
And he's
for
talking
real,
about,
eh?
I was just joking. No, motherfucker, you weren't joking.
There's
So,
truth to
Right.
some of them
but
jokes, yo.
But I need my
Absolutely.
job, so I'm not going to put hands on you. But I damn sure want to
Might
turn
be a joke, but don't make it funny.
want to turn the damn Hulk on his ass. What the hell? I think a black man could have a pontoon.
That's
Man,
crazy.
fuck, I work like everybody else. I got 2 jobs. So I can have shit.
Facts. Lucky you didn't say I didn't know you guys could swim or something like that, right? Because they a lot
Yeah.
of things like we can't swim either and shit, you know. So
I can swim enough to save me, but I ain't trying to save nobody else. That's all I'm saying.
I could swim. I ain't no lifeguard.
You're right.
I can
Right.
save
You ain't
me,
taking me with you.
but
You
if
know?
somebody fighting and acting fool, well, hey. You want a chance. You kick me or something else. You drinking some water.
Oh shit. It was a great show, guys. Thank you for popping in, Dandelion. Danny, you too as well. Shout out your channel, Danny.
Danny aka Comment Chat. Monday nights, you can see me along with the brother up top. We got our shows, Chaos List, Chaos Conversation, and the next Monday be the Rule of 3.
Absolutely.
So Sunday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch me on Storms Live. I guess we'll be on there this Sunday. I'm not sure. I know last Sunday was Super Bowl, so definitely good show, man. I'm happy to be here when you're not bashing cops. Fantastic. Good job. Keep that up.
Are
Sure
you
that'll
doing a
happen.
review? Are you
Huh?
doing a review for Ant-Man tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I took half a day off. One job, secondary job, loaded me up. I'm like, mother. So it probably be like 7 o'clock before I get to watch it. I plan on watching it at 3, but that ain't gonna happen.
I was trying to cancel my tickets so that I could go earlier, but I bought them online and they had that little disclaimer: we do not refund tickets bought online. So I'm like, fuck. So I gotta go at 10 o'clock.
Wow. No, that late, man.
So,
I'd be sleeping.
Yeah. I ain't gonna get back to like after 12. So
How long is it supposed to be?
2 hours and 10 minutes.
Ain't too bad. So if I watch that at 7, I get done about 9:30 with all the
pretty
previews
much.
and shit. Yeah.
Hope it's good. Dandelion, where can they find you?
I don't have a channel. I just wander around, mostly hang out in chats, or occasionally hop on and chat.
Absolutely. Roberto?
I'm gonna sound repetitive, but it's Wednesday nights here, 9 o'clock sharp. But at least we try.
Oh, there will be a square one this Saturday, Roberto.
Oh, really? Why?
yes.
We have some Super Bowl talk
Pretty much, yeah.
about the holding call.
The new GOAT.
You needed someplace for Chris to gloat or something?
Oh my
Pretty
God.
much.
Chris wore the same T-shirt back-to-back nights. I was like,
yeah, but that's
wow.
probably just because he couldn't be bothered to change.
I said,
Shouldn't be allowed.
That Chief shirt getting a workout, boy.
He shouldn't be allowed, Danny. I recall him saying he thinks Philly's gonna win. I don't know what kind of dedicated fan that is.
Okay, no, that's that built-in. That's that built-in excuse in case they did win.
They did, yes.
See, I told you.
Yes.
I told you I didn't have faith. But man, that night when you was on the chat, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
That's why I ain't said nothing. They tell me one on the other phone, my other boys at work. Ding, ding, ding. I put the damn emoji of me sleeping. Man, go to sleep. I don't want to talk about this shit.
You're going to have to get some new Phantom Zones to throw them in.
Oh, yeah. I think we're going to need some Phantom Zones for Chris on that one. Absolutely, because it's going to be... and I think there's a lot of NBA stuff we can talk about.
Yeah. I told you the curse is on my team now.
Who?
What do you mean?
The curse. Kyrie.
Oh, he's Dallas.
Man, Kyrie and
haven't won the game yet.
When they figure it out.
Yes, they did.
Not that I saw. They were 0-2 unless they won the other night.
They
Their
lost 3
first
games.
game back.
No.
They haven't won a game together.
Yeah, they won a game together.
Well, the game. I thought I seen it. The first game he came back, he hit the game winner. Luka didn't play.
I don't think they won it. Yeah,
They
ain't won a game together.
They haven't won a game
playing together.
Okay, with Luka. Okay,
yeah.
okay. I got
the last game they were playing hot potato. No,
yeah,
you take
that
the
was
shot.
fucking
No, you
embarrassing.
take the shot. No, you take the shot.
That's embarrassing.
Then Kyrie turned it over. But I think when they figure it out,
they're gonna be dangerous.
That's gonna be Batman and Robin. Boy.
Hopefully they figure it out before they're kicked out of the playoffs.
I'm scared of them too.
And yeah, we got some LeBron James stuff to talk about too as well. Cause
man, they like the 6 or 7 seed, ain't they?
Mm-hmm. The Lakers are 13th.
No, I'm talking about Dallas.
Oh, Dallas. Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna make the playoffs.
Dallas making playoffs. But you see, what they're saying about LeBron, just real quick before he closes up, is that after he broke the record, all of a sudden he's injured. Yeah. All of a sudden he's injured. Like he was balling, and then they're complaining about him being at the Super Bowl. But we're gonna talk about a lot of that shit on Square One this Saturday, guys. So make sure to check it out. Once again, guys, it was a great show. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. We will be back next week. We'll see what happens this Friday. I may do a tournament because that shit was hilarious the last one.
Thing.
Yeah.
Did you notice, Roberto, that there were some Canadian cops that did something? I don't know whether they beat somebody up or shoot. I can't remember exactly. But we got no coverage of that on this channel. I'm trying to figure out.
News? Didn't make it news here.
Yes, it made the news. How you think I know about it?
Yeah, there was.
Where? Here?
Yeah.
Where was it?
I ain't got no coverage.
I can't remember. I can't remember. But I remember. I can't. I remember seeing it.
The guy's not dead, is he?
Well, there was one where there was I think it was a 12-year-old black kid that died in jail.
Yeah, that was here.
Circumstances. Yeah, there was that one, and I believe there was another one too. It's okay. Daddy's looking for it now. He's looking for it now.
Some blatant shit like in the street, broad daylight. They know they're on camera.
Yeah, they manhandling an elderly person. Wow.
But I told Danny, I'm like, no one gives a damn what the Canadian police over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the American ones that give us the big ratings, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
But yeah, I get you. I've had a few videos where some Canadian cops were doing some bullshit. We never showed them.
I keep getting worried that my brother-in-law is going to show up in one of those videos.
Oh, hope not.
Do y'all have like the Mounties that have like
Danny.
The big Smokey Bear hats and the boots and stuff?
Yeah, that they don't wear that. They don't wear that day to day though. That's like dress.
Oh,
their dress uniform, the red serge. Yeah,
damn,
I don't think my brother-in-law even fits into his anymore because he is not the size he was when he joined the force.
That would be crazy. You have to wear that to work every day.
No, you don't wear that day to day. That's for like if you got to go and do like
to an event
parades, right? Or if you're if you're on like duty guarding the prime minister and shit like that, maybe you got to wear them then.
Absolutely.
But that's not like a day-to-day uniform.
And they even say the guards that guard the queen, the ones that say they can never move or talk.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true. Like they can at least say something or but I don't know. We'll see. I've never been there, so I couldn't tell you. But with that being said, we are going to close it up. Peace, love, and hair grease. See you on the next one. What's next? Thursday? Well, Thursday, Danny's going to do his review for Ant-Man, so make sure you check that out. I will probably do one a little later when I come in. If it's not too late, I'll do a quick one to see, let you guys know if I like it. I know right now there's a lot of people with the critics saying, oh, the critic score is low, nerd man. And I'm like, who gives a fuck about the critic score? Let's see what the audience score is.
I think it was like 69 last time I checked. It ain't too bad.
Last time I seen it was 58%.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen one of those Ant-Man movies in the theater. I don't have a ticket to the one this week. I figured I'd just wait, see it.
See it on Nzo Vision. I got you. No, I got my ticket for it, so we'll see it. Because I like Jonathan Majors. That's why I want to see it so bad.
Yeah.
But I hope it's good. Well, with that being said, guys, thank you guys for popping in. See you on the next one. Peace.
Thanks for having me, boy.
You're very welcome. Bye.
Lift me up, hold me down.
Cause she sucks at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, her Super Bowl performance wasn't that great. I think so.
Sexy and pretty. Don't even work out.